I want to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening and welcome. And yes, I am like a damn action hero. I hope you're all keeping well. A lot going on in the world, isn't there? Loads of people in here. Lots of blue tonight. I see blue. Good evening, Brainery, 9 o'clock. David Oliver, Arctic Haze. Golf Foxtrot, hello to you. Lay's Lab. It's the most sensible YouTuber on the flat earth. Thank you, Lee, probably, is it? And Mark, and Heat Shield, no less. Loads of people here. There's someone called SKS. We'll talk about what you were mentioning just in a little while. Telescope Replicator. Owlman, hello. It's no good having stereo if you leave it on mute, though. I'm not on mute, though, am I? No, I'm not on mute. Ha! Gotcha, suckers. Lots of cheese. Thanks for that, guys. I got snacks as well. Demon Orb, Tusk, Rainer, Fuchs, many others. Obviously, I can't cover them all. I see I've already got someone sat in the waiting room, who I will bring in a little while. Oh, excuse me. Bit of a rush today. Got home from work. Had to come down here, set up the stream, go straight back up there. Excuse me. All of a bit of a rush. Go back up, grab something to eat, dash back down here with about 10 minutes to spare. Talk about a close run thing. But I do have snacks, though. These are snacks that bite back, I think. Has anyone ever had jerky? Not just any old jerky, but crocodile jerky. Oh, yeah. I got got more of a bite than this crocodile's got. I'm looking forward to trying that. I've actually got two types. I've got teriyaki crocodile jerky. Do you ever get teriyaki crocodiles? I don't know, but I'm going to. And spicy. I don't know if they're crocodiles from India or somewhere, but looking forward to try. Actually, they're from Australia. Little Christmas present from my daughter. Right, I've actually got the chat falling behind. My fault. People wondering if Gary Wybenga's going to turn up, or has he turned up? Gary, you turned up already? I see you've already got a message deleted. Come on, pal. When you were here a little while before Christmas, you were able to have quite a few messages without any problems. So we don't want any copy pasta. Argue your case, that's fine, but not loads of copy pasta. All right, pal? Yeah, thank you, Alman. I'm not muted. Yeah, SKS. You said Mage has disproved gravity. I'd like to know how. Is that because it went up? Please explain. In fact, I would like to invite you, if you felt happy to come on to the stream. Chat about it. I'd like to hear your thoughts about why Mage disproves gravity. Because Mage absolutely 100% relies on gravity. Your mileage may vary. I do have another Mage Rage out. I think I scheduled it. What day is it today? Blimey. This is the thing with working a random sort of shift pattern. You totally lose track of the days. Tuesday, probably Thursday, I think, if I recall. A Mage Rage. And I've got another one lined up, which I'm thinking of. I've actually got a few videos lined up. You get dry periods when you really have to dig and delve through YouTube to try and find something to do. But I've actually got, I think, about 5 possible videos, only to the extent that looks good. I think I could do something with that, put it to one side, so when I actually have a good look at it I might change my mind, but it bodes well that I've got quite a few sat there. Who else have we got? Oh, Crafty Keeler, hello Keeler, hope you're okay. Thud's come in. Faux Hammer 335, I like that, 335. And Dog Walker, there was someone else's name I just skipped past. I just saw. I can't see who it was now. Oh, Seek Truth, Speak Truth, that was it. Hello to you, pal. Hope things are going okay. And I hope you brought loads of your shiny new subs over. That would always be welcome. Right, tonight the topic is all this COVID stuff, and there's method behind my madness. At my work, obviously this is in the UK, through the first peak, we had a number of people who stayed at home to shield. But during the entire period, I don't recall, in the people I come across, I don't recall anyone getting any sort of notification and having to isolate. This time, they're falling like flies. It's a big difference. In the past 2 or 3 days, it's a fairly large number of people, but in the past few days, about 8 to 10 people, maybe a couple more than that, have had to go home isolating. And I'm aware of 2 people who employed in the same, I have to be very careful, same business area, who have COVID, one of whom, her entire family now has it. It wasn't her who gave it to them, it was someone in her family who gave it to her. Basically, it's happening. I texted Mrs. S yesterday with the figures, because we jumped up from about 30,000 in a day to 40,000 in a day. Bearing in mind that rate, I texted her and said, look, make sure you've got everything sorted, make sure your mum and dad don't wander out to the garden centre for a nice cup of tea, stuff that's not necessary, because I really feel that this is the big wave. I mean, after this wave we may get other ones, but I think that this is going to be a big one. The way it's absolutely rocketing up. And lo and behold, what did I see this evening? It's 53,000. It's about 12, 13,000 more than yesterday as a daily rate. So 53,000 in a day, but an increase of that. And in fact, it's an increase of 44% week on week. It's dreadful. So this is happening at work, seeing these figures. And I'll read that super chat out right now. Robert Williams, $5 US. Should I get my Derptrip degree in fluid dynamics or perspective? Well, either would be helpful, Robert. Fluid dynamics. Would either of those be good at CERN? I wonder what they would use if you wanted to be employed at CERN. I was looking at some CERN stuff today, quite interesting actually. Yeah, but thanks for the super chat, Robert. So a lot of things like this are happening at my workplace, and it's starting to hit home. It's not that I ever disbelieved it, because just to let you know, my mum was a nurse many years ago. So I was always exposed to all the discussions and about medical things, not about people, about new vaccines and stuff like that. And in fact, one time, because my mum worked in a role as a nurse where she worked alone, I can't say more than that, and she had to have some vaccine or other, and it wasn't convenient to try and sort it out with a doctor. So I gave it to her. I gave her a vaccine. I was aged about 13 years old. Stuck it in her arm and did it. So anyway, exposed to the medical side of things. Have every respect for the whole for medical science. I mean, when it comes to a vaccine, when that's available, go for it. I'll be right at the front of the queue, pushing little old ladies out the way. Anyone who can't get there faster than me, I think it's an amazing thing. And I think we are so lucky to have not one, not two, but other vaccines as well coming on stream soon. Absolutely wonderful. But I think we're now in a massive acceleration stage. I mean, I thought this is wave 2, but looking, and I read they consider it a wave 3. The second one being a small one. But the Spanish flu had at least 2, with the second wave being much bigger, and I think this is it. It's a shame it hasn't come a little later, so that more people have been vaccinated. But the reason that made me think I will have this as a topic tonight is I had a quiet period at work, and I went on the internet and I was looking at a newspaper, one of the UK rags, and then was looking at the comments. I always find the comments interesting. I never comment on them, but it is interesting to see people get their knickers in a twist about various things. And on this story about the 53,000 today, there were loads and loads of comments, as you're probably not surprised. I could not believe how many of them were by total idiot deniers, denying that it's real, stating it's flu, stating that the vaccine is a hoax, stating that they want control. It's all a plan to have a permanent lockdown. It's scary. Not the COVID. Yeah, that's scary, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these idiots, total idiots, who are just denying the reality of the situation, who are basically calling all the politicians liars. Well, that's about par for the course, but all the politicians liars, all the scientists liars, the doctors and nurses, the people who actually posted and said Aunt so-and-so died last week, or my cousin's on a ventilator, or we got 3 members of the family isolating and my brother's looking pretty bad and he might have to go to hospital, calling all those liars. Now I know from the recent business with my mum, we had to organise her funeral, we had a date and we were thinking we might have to postpone it, and contacted the what do they call them, the funeral directors, and they said no, you can't, they will not rearrange because there are no slots. There are so many dying, there are no slots. It really is serious. Sorry, I just had a direct message. Let me just have a quick look. Beg your pardon. I do apologise for that. It's quite an important message. Yeah. So that's going to be the general topic. What I will do is I will just quickly read through the super chats, because there was a couple there, and then I've got a little announcement to make. Right, super chats. Right, so we had the one from Robert. We got Jezza the Master Review again. Hello again, Jezza. Thank you for super chat, £4.99. I'm glad you're addressing this, as several family members have tested positive, including my mother. So I hope you shame the deniers. I'll tell you what, Jezza, they bring shame on themselves. I really, really do hope that all members of your family, and all your families, everyone's, are okay. And obviously, thoughts are with you for your mother as well. Fingers crossed. Get her an iPad, stick it on Mr. Sensible playlist, episode 1. That'll keep her happy. Okay. Robert Williams super chatted $2. CERN would want dropity and electromagicism. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of electromagicism. Quite right, Robert. And some electricery. That's brilliant. Thank you, mate. And Arctic Haze for 10 Polish zlotys. Do they have zlotys there, or you do you use the euro now? I don't know. But I wish you all a much better new year. Thank you, Arctic. And indeed, I'll pass on that sentiment. However your past year has been, and I know for many it's been very bad, even if it's been wonderful, I hope that this year is a better year. I don't know if I'll be having a live stream before we go into the new year. I think it might be just after, so thank you for that. Right, okay, if you just bear with me 1 second. Okay, right. Now, I don't know much about this, but I want to actually make a serious announcement. There's a chap, a YouTuber called, I can't really say his name properly, I don't think, Boolionator. Unfortunately, in the past couple of days, he has passed away. I don't know any of the details. I believe he was found by his landlord, and a friend, another YouTuber, was contacted. His name's Boolionator. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know Boolionator, and I'm not aware of his channel, although I'd heard of him. So I'm sure we would all pass on our sympathies with his friends and family. There is, let me get this information, there's a stream on Red's Rhetoric's channel. Perhaps someone could get the link for that. A stream on Red's Rhetoric channel to do a PayPal if people want to donate to help his family. I've just been given the link, I think. Let's drop the link in there. There we go. That should have come up, has it? Oh, yes, yeah. So thoughts and sympathies with all of his friends and family. I know he does have quite a number of very good YouTube friends. I thought before now, what would happen? I'm not being morbid, but I was thinking, what would happen if I was dying? What would I tell you guys? What would happen if I died, in my sleep? How would you guys know? I don't know. It's a tough situation. As I said, I don't know much about Bullionator other than he was highly thought of, and I have seen quite a number of messages on my Discord server and on other people's channels. Oh, there we go. Mute Donkey says Bull produces for many channels in the community, so that's the connection. And Crafty Keeler's posted a link to Red Stream, I think it is, isn't it, Keeler? So anyone who wants to go over there, please do. That's much more important than any rubbish I might be talking about. So, rest in peace, Bull. So, if anyone needs to, if anyone's in the UK and they, hold on, let me just find this. If anyone's in the UK, just want to get this up for myself. Yes, if anyone's in the UK and is hard hit by this and feels the need to talk to someone, there's a number. It's 116 123. That's 116 123. That doesn't look like it, but it is a phone number. It's a phone number for the Samaritans. The Samaritans is not just for people who are stood on the edge of a bridge or something like that. It's for anyone who needs to talk about anything at any time. Okay, I've got a friend who not works, what do you call them? Volunteers for Samaritans, or an acquaintance that volunteers for the Samaritans. And it's very important stuff. And if anyone needs to have a chat, a cry, or whatever, whether it's related to Bull or not, ring that number, 116 123. So let's move on. Respectfully, let's move on. Oh yes, Keeler said it is Red Stream. No worries. It's. I'm sure you take it the right way. It's my pleasure to do that, Keeler. Right, I've got someone waiting in the waiting room. Let's bring them in and we'll get chatting and see where it goes. Let me just flick over because I've gone on to a different... Oh, we've got a couple of people. I'm going to bring on the first one who was there first. Hello, good evening, Darren. Sorry, 1 second. I'll make sure I switch on my sound before you speak. Das Aaron LP, hello to you.
Hello, good evening.
And how are you?
Good.
Good. I see
Good.
Brian Pop Robson's in the waiting room as well, and he's just unmuted, so I'll bring him in as well at the same time. Hello, good evening, Brian. Hello, Brian.
Good evening.
Good. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. That's a good start. And I think I got the sound on you guys as well, which is an even better start.
Yeah.
So
I've got a working mic.
Oh, was it you who was having a problem last week, Brian?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds clear as a bell now, anyway, my friend.
Good.
So, you guys, have you got any thought? You'll have to excuse me. I've got a bit of heartburn.
Hello.
From rushing home and scoffing my food. Have you had any thoughts or whatever about the whole COVID thing, vaccine, deniers, everything?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've just put a little post up in the room, but people didn't see it. But basically, our local hospital and Southend Hospital today, they had loads and loads of ambulances outside, and they was using them for extra beds with doctors going in between the ambulances treating patients.
I know.
Never seen anything.
No, I know. I'd read a day or two back that there were 6-hour waits for ambulances to actually offload patients, and I also read that there's talk of, they put the triage tents outside.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking of doing that in some of these.
Yeah, and then you get these annoying people. I mean, well, name one in particular, Beau Petard. Anyone from the Isle of Wight probably knows him. Is Gary in tonight? But basically, he's one of he believes rockets don't work in a vacuum. But his main one is that 5G causes COVID, and his main insult to people lately is, "I bet you're a mask wearer."
So what is it? Is he someone who goes on YouTube?
I mean, that is not an insult. I would say, I bet you're a sane person, and that's the same thing.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
No. Please carry on.
No. But he's got. I mean, he was talking about the ISS, and I pointed him to your video on the ISS.
Oh, with the mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's quite well, but that was fun. So what did he say to?
It's a hologram.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and orbits. There is no such thing as an orbit. You can't have a orbit because things will naturally fall down to Earth.
Well, the moon is screwed then, isn't it?
Exactly. Then he says the orbits of the planets are different because they're all in resonance with each other.
Ah, yeah. That will explain. Do you know? I never considered that. Just jumping back a second to the COVID thing, Mr. Paul Heath says, I've been working on the wards for the duration, and I'm also working with epidemiologists. I said that word without stumbling too much. Working on the wards with the epidemiologists if anyone wants any further information. That's Paul Heath. Thank you, Paul. And keep up the good work, sir. Well, I mean, I'm just so impressed with the NHS and medical. I also read that, it might have been Southend, somewhere down south. The NHS Trust is asking if any doctors and nurses will cancel any annual leave that they've got booked because they need them.
Yes, that's all local. That's happened.
And that's really bad. Really bad. Oh, Simon Spencer.
I mean,
go on, Das.
I mean, that just says or states how much of a shit we are in right now.
Yeah.
If they have to ask doctors and nurses and other medical personnel to keep working instead of going on vacation or something.
Yeah. Because you can't just rustle them up from nowhere, which is why they've also got the problem with, I don't know if you're aware of them, as they set up these, I think it's about 3, maybe 4 temporary hospitals that they built in just a few weeks. They call them Nightingale hospitals, with I forget, about 4,000 beds between them, something like that. And unfortunately, they can't staff them because lo and behold, you can't rustle up doctors and nurses from nowhere.
Well, the rule with the Nightingale hospitals, if any hospital sends a patient to a Nightingale hospital, they must supply the staff to attend that patient. So that's why they're not being used.
It's not surprising, is it? I mean, because they've got none to spare.
Absolutely.
Because it's not just physical space for the beds, it's staff and everything.
I could get political there, but I'm not going to.
Well, if you're going to make a general point about the state of the funding of the NHS, that's all right. But we don't want to get into this party is better than that party, okay?
No.
But just before we carry on, IMD Fox has super chatted €5. Thank you, Fox, saying orbits don't exist. How come I'm struggling in the Kerbal Space Program game? Merry New Year's to all. Well, good luck with that, Andy Fox. I have to check out that game. I have heard of it, but never get time to do that sort of stuff.
It's very accurate. Very accurate.
Kerbal. I'm going to write it down. If Mitch turns up, although I haven't watched it, I did say that I would try and watch that thing, Married with Children. I've got it written up here. So it's Kerbal Space, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll try and check it out.
That's the one.
Lovely jubbly. That's if I ever get time to do anything. Yes, so it's a bit of a problem, isn't it? What you do if you suddenly need lots more doctors, you can bring in army medics, but of course they've got their own roles that they would normally do, and you've only got so many of those anyway.
And they don't actually issue stats on it, but I would say that the actual army's probably got quite a few COVID cases themselves.
Well, that's true.
They're all in barracks together, etc. It's very hard to social distance. You know,
this is it. When it gets, I mean, we've heard earlier on where the places like the sandwich factories or meat factories suddenly had massive number of cases. Because you get a group of
Absolutely.
people working together, you're all right, all right, all right. Someone gets it, boom, loads get it.
Yeah,
And that's the problem.
yeah. The other thing was our local actual testing, our COVID testing facility. All 70 members of staff were sent home the other day because 5 of them come down with COVID.
Wow. I've had the COVID.
Right.
Do you remember I had the COVID test at one of these emergency centres a few months back? It was after my holiday in Cornwall, and I had hallucinations, and you can watch one of my old videos about it if you like. But I did go along, and that was it was like being in one of these end of the world disaster movies. Turning up this
Really?
hospital, turning up this hospital looking for the COVID tent. We had to turn up, park up, and ring a number, and then they ring you back and tell you where to go. And they directed us to this COVID tent. Saw this big white tent, but couldn't get to it. Seemed wherever we went, it seemed to be on the other side of fencing. I stopped this medic and said, "I'm trying to get to the COVID tent over there, but I can't find a way in." He said, "That's not the COVID tent. That's the temporary morgue."
Oh no!
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
I don't want to go there. So then he gave me the proper directions. But yeah, we pulled up, and I had to have a test because I had to go there because I had to have my leg examined, and obviously I might have been COVID positive.
No. So when you was hallucinating, did you start believing in the flat Earth, or did it go that? Didn't it get that bad?
It was weird. Basically, cut the short story short, we were on holiday in Cornwall. We went for a short walk. I got about a quarter of a mile. My foot started hurting. Another quarter of a mile, I could barely walk. By the time we got home, my whole ankle, foot, and calf had swollen up painfully, and I just went to bed. This was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I slept for about 16 hours, all the time shouting and screaming and hallucinating. It was really, really weird. They never really got to the bottom of it. I did have some sort of infection, but who knows?
I did have a weird hallucination experience myself many years ago. I used to have my own chauffeuring business, and one of my drivers let me down, and I had to go to Heathrow. And I'd been up since the Friday, and this was on the Sunday morning.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to drive to Heathrow Airport to pick up this client. So I drank 4 cans of Red Bull. I was literally flying, and my mum, who had been dead for 5 years, come out of the airport towards me.
oh man.
Strange,
Wow.
so strange.
Yeah, so we're wondering, and we're locking ourselves down now as tight as we can. Got 2 elderly relatives live with us, so not be funny. It's just not worth them taking the risk to go to a garden centre to have a cup of tea, even if, because currently it is allowed, even if the garden centres are open, which seems nonsensical to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's some necessities, but buying sort of house plants and that sort of thing, and knickknacks, because you know what garden centres are like. There's hardly any plants in them nowadays. Buying knickknacks and stuff is hardly what I'd call essential. I do appreciate the position the workers and the owners and that are in. That's a different kettle of fish. Yeah.
Well,
No reaction from Arnold from the biscuits. Is
No,
he still okay?
he's still happy. Boys, I tell you, it was absolutely genuine. When I put those in front of him, he scoffed them because I'd filmed him not touching biscuits before Mage. Those were the real biscuits that went in the bag and went up in Mage, and then they've been kept, in a fridge to make sure they don't go off in the bag. But when I poured them out for him, he scoffed a lot. He really tucked into them. I don't know. Have they got slight cheesiness to them from being a bit close to the moon?
Yeah.
well, the 5G Jesus radiation didn't destroy them.
No, apparently not.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was having a look. I do still keep an eye on Oakley's videos, but I have not made a single comment. He's having the odd dig at me, but I have not made nothing horrendous. No more than you would expect, the opposition to make. So that's fine. But he was trying to use Mage against Thunderfoot, and all his bouncy balls go down, go boom boom in a fish tank. It sounds like a child talking. Doesn't it?
I did see the video up, but I must admit I never watched it. So.
Yeah, it's a load of crap, and they're trying to say that what I showed countered what he showed. Oh, I don't know. I would do a debunk, only I'm not touching Oakley right now. Yeah. And just before anyone asks, the situation is still ongoing, and I can't give any details until it completes, just to save anyone asking. But I'm looking forward to when it completes, whatever the outcome is.
I did have to do something similar many moons ago, and the outcome of that was that because the person making the accusation, me, was a channel name rather than me personally, yeah, and it was my channel name that was used in the actual
Attack.
yeah, I could do nothing about it because you can't actually slander a made-up character as such.
Right. Slander, libel, and slander is something different. Because that's civil law, not criminal law.
Well, it actually involved criminal law because my little friend expat Taffy was dropping docs on me, yeah, which he still continues.
Brian, sorry, Brian, I just connected you. I just didn't realise. I've seen you put comments or previously have comments on his videos.
Yeah.
I didn't connect you as the same person. Yeah, carry on.
But basically, well, I can't block. He's blocked me for 5 years, but there are other ways of commenting on his video. But the bottom line with that is there was one particular person who lives 20 minutes down the road. He's a traveller, yeah, and he started threatening me, and Taffy tried to tell him where I lived. He got it wrong. He was 20 miles out of where I live, but this guy is very close.
Yeah.
And he started saying things like, "I've been sitting in your local for the last half hour waiting for you. I know what you look like." Blah 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 blah.
I hope you reported that to the police.
That was the thing, though. It was Taffy who was dropping the information. The outcome of it was the guy who was making threats got thrown off of YouTube. He may be back in an alias, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But but he got thrown off of YouTube anyway for the threats that he made against me. But Taffy can't see that he's doing something wrong by trying to tell people where I live.
I don't understand it. I really don't. Not doxing, but I've got someone. They'd made a couple of comments about me a couple of weeks back, accusing me of being a benefits cheat, claiming various government benefits, cheating in some way.
Have a look on Taffy's channel. There's a whole video called Brian Pop Robson, the tax dodging bunny.
Okay. And even names your channel. See, you could take that to YouTube, I'm sure. But
I have, and they said that you can't actually defame a YouTube channel. But
you can harass. He's harassing you, isn't he?
Yeah, true. But I've tried twice to have that video removed. But the worst that happens is they domain ban it in the UK. He's got about 10 videos that I've domain banned, but I can't see the point in doing it, really.
Well, he's got so few viewers anyway, to be honest, Brian, it probably makes no difference. So I've had this person under 2 or 3 names making this allegation, and it went away, and it's just happened again today under a different name, accusing me of being a benefits cheat. And so I pinned it. I forget which of it's on one of my last 2 videos. I pinned it to the top and said, "Okay, what's your evidence? Show us your evidence, or you're a troll. Go." And he said, "Well, I can't give your real name, otherwise you'll accuse me of doxing." I said, "Good point. So tell us what I was supposed to have done, though." And he's basically said that I was convicted. I was convicted of some sort of fraud in 2009. And I said, "Well, if I was being convicted, the authorities have already dealt with it. What are you talking about? I mean,
absolutely.
I don't know where it's come from." And then it started getting more personal. That thread I've left, actually, because someone else was doing it, or another sock was doing it, but they were being highly abusive. So I just
taking copies of all these, yeah? Because they're very quick to delete them if you.
Well,
you do that.
They are, but I mean, if you make up a sock name, sock123, make a few comments like that, and then go away and change, no one's going to be able to do anything about it, really. I mean, it's pathetic because it's not even a believable thing in that, he has zero evidence. And so, I mean, I suppose the only thing is, if you came across it, would you believe it? I mean, that's a possibility, of course. That's what I guess is all he can count on. Yeah.
Have you noticed that they're allowed to have socks and they have legitimate uses for sock accounts, but they will always accuse you of having multiple sock accounts when you don't?
Yeah, well, at least 2 times Oakley's accused me of having a sock. One time he had an argue with this sock account, accusing it being me, and it wasn't me. I wasn't even watching his video. I hadn't seen it. So these socks are actually wasting his time. Yeah, I don't know. It's pathetic, really. Just for the record, I do not have, never have, and to be honest, don't really see the point of having a sock account. Maybe other people have reasons for them, but I have no reason. If I'm going to comment, I'll comment with my name. Otherwise, I won't bother. Hello, Q.
I have 2 accounts, yeah. But one of them, when Google took over YouTube, it made a Google account. So I've got 2 accounts that are both called Brian Pop Robson.
Yes, yeah, there is funny stuff about that. And I had, some time ago, I mean, we're talking years and years and years ago, an account for a small business I ran. I worked for myself for a while. And that had it, and I can't get rid of it. So that's there as a name. It hasn't been used in many a year. Probably about 10 years, I don't know.
But this is the thing. They say... Taffy accuses me of not using my real name and because I'm frightened because he's going to show me up, you know. But the bottom line is I've been on here since 2007, and my name is established from what I've done from 2007 as Brian Pop Robson, not as my real name.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't understand where he's coming from. No one knows me.
Oh, I see sock accounts just logged in. Said someone called. I love the what do you call it? Oh God, the words escape me. Your little picture, avatar. That's it. Brilliant. Welcome to you, sock account. We've heard much about you
for Christmas.
Yes. Did you get any socks for Christmas? Hello, Colon. Hello. What's all this then? Oh, sorry, that's what Oakley should be hearing. Apparently, you don't have socks. How do you keep your ankles warm? Well, I got those socks, not that sort of socks. And Dr. Osiris, you're very welcome. Very welcome. And actually, there's another one I need to do. 1 second. Yeah, so as usual, we're wandering off of topic. No,
Yeah,
not at all.
sorry.
It's quite nice, isn't it? It's nice for any way of chatting and where you come and go. It's not a formal debate or anything. Yeah, sorry, we've not given you much chance to talk, Aaron.
Yeah, sorry. I'll
Nothing for me to say in that particular conversation.
Oh dear. Yeah, so
Then again, I will probably make another YouTube account to post videos from, because this is not the one I want to use for that.
and that's quite valid. It's quite valid to have. Maybe you've got a personal YouTube account, one involved with your business, one for personal, as you said, for videos or whatever. The problem comes is when people use socks to try and hide who they are in order to do mischief, I think.
Well, that's not my intention, though.
No, I'm sure it isn't. I wonder if Sock Account there does it. Sock Account, you are so famous. You are being talked about by Nathan Oakley and masses of other people.
Yet no one knows who you are.
Yes, colon. Brian's already mentioned Taffy. I haven't looked at Taffy for a little while. He doesn't half get his knickers in a twist. You address him and then suddenly you get bombarded. He didn't just sort of post some sort of response or even just a rude response to me. He posts 10 responses on the chat. Actually, he does that on his own channel as well, doesn't he? If you make
absolutely. He's now taken on Dead Kennedys in space. He's having a go at him at the moment, so that's going to be fun, I think.
It will be, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, he has literally thousands of viewers, and I think Taffy's going to come unstuck there.
Well, I understand he lives abroad somewhere. Well, he's open about that. I don't know which country. Well, it doesn't matter.
He lives in Thailand. But he's open about that. So
yeah.
That's not dropping dots on it.
So I mean that makes things more difficult to deal with. But there we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, any legal action I've taken against him has failed for the reasons I've explained, but I've never got as far as trying to, prosecute something that he's done, through Thai law. I don't think it's possible.
Actually, Thai law, there is something that they are really hot on some things, aren't they?
Yeah.
Criticising the royal family is virtually a life sentence, I think. There was something else about. Is it that if you post messages, oh, maybe it's another country, you post some sort of abusive messages, but then, while you're here, and if you went to Thailand, they could arrest you for it years later. It's something like that. It's quite surprising. But I could be wrong on the country on that one. I'm not sure.
I've heard that, but I can't think. I'm not 100% sure that'd be Thailand. Where? I've heard that. I've heard someone actually land in the country and being arrested.
Exactly. It may not be. It may not be Thailand. Yeah. But of course, you're talking about expat taffy. Are you talking about expat taffy or the brilliant expat taffy?
He says he uses that term to wind people up, but it doesn't. It makes him look stupid.
Absolutely.
Well, absolutely worse than
Well, stupider.
Stupider. Is it stupider? Because your friend Creaky did a video about him as well. So
Creaky.
Yeah.
Was it a video or was it CGI?
CGI.
I have met him, and he said he invited me on his Sunday night stream. I just happened to pop in just on the off chance, a week before last, I think it was. He says, "Oh, Mr. Sensible." It was just after I'd done the Oakley thing, and he was going to be talking about it, and I happened to be there, so he invited me in. And during that stream, we were talking about the fact that I have met him, or me and Mrs. S have met him and his wife. They're both really, really nice people. We had a lovely evening. Such nice people. Looking forward to sometime seeing my dad again. All right, pal.
Right, says Fred.
Right, says Fred. Yeah. Yes, we had that roasting last week, didn't we?
You did.
I did indeed. Oh man, yeah. So, getting back to it, I was absolutely shocked. Not that there were some people being anti-vax or denying COVID and all that sort of stuff, but that in this thread, maybe they're just being very, very active to try and convert people. But I think maybe getting on for 2/3 of the post were saying, "Oh, the figures are manipulated. The government are doing this. It's all lies." And I was shocked at that number of people, and it got me thinking, if this was wartime, that obviously they control things like newspapers and what stories they can publish, because obviously it might give away secrets and stuff. And in effect, we are in a war with this COVID. And these people are helping the COVID, willingly or not. That is exactly what they're doing, because everyone they convince not to take the vaccine, or that they shouldn't wear masks, or that you're absolutely fine to invite all your friends and neighbours around. Everyone that gets convinced by that increases the risk, increases the spread, and increases the amount of time and the severity of lockdown the rest of us had to the rest of us have to go through.
Absolutely. I'll be first in line for a vaccine now. Can't see why anyone's got a real problem with it.
You would too, Das.
I don't think I need to go to vaccinate, since I start police academy in March, and they will probably vaccinate me at first coming there, because they stick 400-500 people together in barracks and have them do the training to become a police officer. So
obviously that would make sense. But wouldn't it be a case of? Wouldn't it be a case of? Let's say your doctor said, "Hey, Das, you can have the vaccine. If you had it tomorrow, then next month, 2 months, 3 months time, whatever it is, you go across, you go to the academy and they say, right, we're going to give you the vaccine. You say, I've already had it. Isn't that fine?
I wouldn't take it now because I think I'm taking the chance of away from someone to get the vaccine who would elsewhere need it.
Yeah.
I'm isolating myself at home right now. I don't go out if I don't need to, and I basically do the last 2 months in complete no one is going to meet me mode, which is hard, but I wouldn't take away someone else's vaccine who might need to work in a field where they need to go out. I would wait until I get it.
I understand. I understand.
The state.
Yeah.
My employment.
That's very laudable. So well done, you. And good luck. Good luck with the police training whenever that starts.
But if it weren't the case, then yeah, I would vaccinate myself.
Yeah. So you've got nothing against. I mean, because there will be some people who, for whatever reason, don't want to. Mrs. S wants to, but because she's got all sorts of allergies, she's anaphylactic and so on. There are concerns, because we don't know yet. There are concerns about the possibilities of a vaccine. Would she be able to have it? But then, of course, there's now more than one type, so hopefully one of them will be suitable for her. I'm going to jump in and say FoHammer335 has just super chatted $2 US. Thank you, Fo. Saying, brother, grab the flamer, the heavy flamer. Thanks for that, Fo. Thank you. Yes, I certainly am not against it. Do you ever think?
I'm so happy they started.
It's wonderful news, isn't it?
But I mean, I know you don't do politics here, and I won't touch into much of politics as in what parties or anything. But I think Austria has kind of mismanaged the COVID situation, as in they were too loose in summer, and they just said, yeah, do anything.
Yeah.
Voluntary social distancing, and everything is voluntary, and people just don't care if it's voluntary. You have to enforce the rules, or else it won't work.
I think a lot of countries have made mistakes. A lot of countries. I think the only country that's actually been successful, really, is China. From the point of view, they had it there and they virtually eliminated it, but then they can use all sorts of techniques that we would not consider morally ethical, like I understand welding people into their tower blocks and stuff like that, but it worked.
Yeah, they just clamped down, full stop.
Yeah.
They absolutely clamped down, straight off. That's why it's been successful.
Yeah. And Australia's done very well, but then they have the advantage of being so isolated. But
so are we. And we're smaller than Australia.
Yeah, although we're much higher concentration of people, and
true.
But the thing that gets me, that people say things like lockdown doesn't work. Now I've said before, I spent many years working in IT. I worked in IT many years before and through and after the year 2000. That year 2000 it didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't happen because lots of people like me and many others sorted out all the problems and stopped it from happening. If we didn't do that, if the money wasn't spent fixing the systems, all sorts of things would have gone wrong. Now, I didn't work on sort of mission critical systems like, aircraft navigation or anything like that, but I am fully aware of many computer systems that I worked on that literally just would stop working. Now, they're not mission critical to life and death. There's things like things to do with electoral registration was one of them, and it couldn't cope with 4-digit years. So that one would have stopped. Bang. So the fact it didn't happen is testament to all the work that was done. I was also thinking, these people who say lockdowns don't work, that's the equivalent of being forced to wear a seatbelt and driving into a tree and then saying, look, I didn't get flung through the window, therefore the seatbelt was a waste of time, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, because you were wearing a bloody seatbelt. That's why you didn't fly through the window.
Yeah, but you say that we're an island, but you go back to March, sort of February time, yeah, when it was first flared up in Italy, etc. What did they do? They didn't even give people a temperature check at airports.
I'm not even sure if they do now, do they?
They don't. We've got a Norwegian friend who's actually come from Spain, staying with us, and she said she just come through the airport, no checks whatsoever.
And then look at that was it an Austrian ski resort or Swiss ski resort, and a whole load of Brits. They were told to isolate.
It was in Austria.
Yeah, so they waited until the early hours of the morning, and 200 people fucked off. Oh, that is absolutely disgusting. Okay, they've managed to get themselves out. They don't have to isolate because of Austrian law. Good for them. Unfortunately, if any of them have got it, having probably left some of it there, they're now carrying it with them wherever they go. Total selfish bastards.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, it sounds like they've been treated wonderfully. I understand on Christmas Day, the hotels gave them bottles of champagne. Oh, that's a tough lockdown, isn't it? Absolutely disgusting. Oh, terrible.
I mean, I'm still glad I wasn't there. While I'm a skiing enthusiast, last year was kind of... I didn't go skiing for reasons I don't even know. It just didn't fit my time schedule, and so I wasn't there. Even though I would have been if the university I'm currently still at, but which I will leave now, if that hadn't set the examination times so shitty that I couldn't go.
I lived in Switzerland for a year. I'm over 60 and I've never ever been skiing ever.
Nor have I. Never. Well, I went twice on a dry ski slope, which was horrible. I'll just say that Paul Heath has commented, lockdown, social distancing and face coverings were the main medical advice which helped overcome the SARS outbreak in Asia. Coronavirus is a SARS virus. All data shows it works. Absolutely right, because that's the other thing. Oh, it's just a flu. It's not a flu at all. It's totally different. And the other thing is, they turn around and say 99% of people survive. Well, for a start, that means 1% of people don't. That's an awful lot of people. But of those who survive, yeah, they've survived. But what percentage of those have long-term damage to their heart, lungs, kidneys, liver and whatnot? Absolutely. And this long COVID, people struggling with it for months now.
The other thing is people saying this thing about why hasn't there been no flu around? Yeah.
Yes.
People are taking precautions, and it's stops flu as well. You Wally.
I mean, I tried to get a flu shot this year because my grandfather is really susceptible to getting sick, and I wasn't able to get one. It was all sold out. I couldn't get my hands on a standard shitty ass flu shot.
I'm an old age man, so I'll get one for free.
Well, yeah, I've had one. Yeah, I got it through my work, and then my GP contacted me and said, "Do you want your flu shot?" Oh, I've already had it, mate. Oh well. I never used to get them. Not because I was anti. It's just that I never really used to get round to it. I suppose when you're younger, it doesn't matter so much anyway. From the point of view of your own health, I suppose it matters in that you pass things around. But they don't inject everyone anyway. There aren't enough shots for everyone, are there? So it's people over a certain age with certain health conditions and whatever. And in my case, my employer, they provide a certain number of them anyway.
Yeah, they the free flu jabs to people over 50 this year for the first time, just to stop it being an extra burden on the NHS.
Yes, well, in 10 years' time, I'll avail myself of that then.
I'm 20 years over that. God, nearly.
Oh, Mohammed Shafiq, good evening to you, Mo. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope that you're still giving people jip. And the videos I've seen on Mr. Bozo Head's channel, I've enjoyed those. A big shout out to Mohammed Shafiq and Mr. Bozo Head. Check them out. All right, so Gary Wybenga says, many nurses are also rejecting flu shots now. First of all, I'd say, is that true? Or have you just read that on a Twitter or something like that? And if they are, what is the reason? Because flu shots are not something that anyone's ever worried about before. They generate slightly new ones each year because they have to, because the flu mutates so much. Sometimes they don't work so well because they didn't predict the right sort of mutation, and it's not as effective. Be interested to see why, Gary. Mr. Sensible is 40. He doesn't look a day under 70. What do you mean a day under 70, foe? Right.
Yeah, my grandfather had flu shots for around about 30 years now in a row, and he's still doing fine.
This is it. I mean, most people and most times, flu's just a miserable period, and then you get over it and you're fine. But it's underlying stuff. It weakens you, gives underlying stuff a chance to take hold. That's why vaccines are so important. Well, some vaccines are important in that they'll literally save your life for things like, some of the nasty diseases we've had.
Measles,
rubella, polio. Exactly. I remember having that when I was a kid. Sorry?
Man flu,
the worst of the lot. Yeah,
they haven't
definitely.
got a vaccine for that yet.
No, but the only cure is a lock-in at a pub.
Yeah.
How come I have an accent but my son doesn't? Well, you see, he doesn't speak English properly. He doesn't know English how she is spoke. Have a word with him. Please. Oh yes, Mo. Me and Mr. Boserhead love to laugh at stupidity of people who throw themselves in the public eye. Definitely. And boy, do you laugh at them. I love the little clips you put in. I do. But you have used one. I didn't. To be fair, I've not used the actual clip, but I've used Sergeant Major, shut up, sir. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind that one. But you've used it. I might still use it from time to time. Don't take offence. Take it as a compliment.
Gary Wybenga. My wife is a nurse, and more than half the doctors and nurses at the hospital she works have refused the vaccination already.
Okay, Gary. I mean, obviously, I can't contradict whether your wife is a nurse or not, so we'll take that at face value. Any idea why? Because I've not heard anything about that. I mean, you're saying it. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm not saying that you are lying. I don't know. But why would that be? Because is it to save the shots for other people? Because they're the sort of people who would go out their way to think of others before themselves. Is it that they think it's a waste of time and it doesn't work? I could imagine that as a possibility if they think this particular one's not going to be good this year. Or are you saying that they think it's dangerous? In which case I'd say rubbish. I can't imagine.
Gary does like to say controversial things on this thread, doesn't he? Really?
He does.
Even in the short time I've been coming on. So I would take that comment with a pinch of salt. Not that you're lying, Gary, of course.
I'm more leaning towards that he just made that up. Because as I understand it, where I'm about that, medical personnel, for them it's mandatory to get the vaccine. There's no way around it. Either you work in the field and you get the vaccine, or you get out. Yeah,
I think that's very, very wise, Des. But I wouldn't be surprised, because I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the UK it's just optional and highly, highly recommended and encouraged, but can't be forced.
Then again, when you're working in the hospital, you contract COVID without even knowing it, and you bring it from a COVID ward up to, don't know, the people who have chronic heart disease, and you killed them. Well, congratulations.
It's because his wife works in a flat hospital. That's what
Well, Paul Heath, who commented earlier on, says, nobody I work with has refused it. The virologist and epidemiologist, twice in a row I've got that without stumbling, the virologist and epidemiologist volunteered to go first. I've asked Gary for some justification and, nothing. Ha-ha! Yeah, good point, Paul. I mean, if you're going to work as a doctor or a nurse, I presume that's not just for the money, but because you believe you're doing some good. And if you thought that medicines and vaccines didn't do any good, you wouldn't be doing the job. And if you do think they're good and they protect you and your family and everyone else, you would take them. I'm sure, without doubt, there is the odd doctor or nurse who, for whatever weird reason, decides not to. But I would think that's very few and far between.
And some of doctors and nurses are allergic to that thing too, but then you get herd immunity, which works in that case.
Which is what my wife might have to rely on if she can't take the vaccine. She's hoping beyond hope that she can take the vaccine. I mean, who wants to come down with that? Because although another thing we've seen them say, it's people over 80 that die. Well, yeah, but look at Boris Johnson. He caught it. He was on a couple of interviews, sounded a bit rough, but no more than someone with a heavy cold. Next thing we know, he's taken into hospital. Then it's 50-50 if he has to go into ICU on oxygen. If you get into ICU, your chances are 50-50 on a ventilator. It's serious stuff. Why wouldn't you take a vaccine that's going to stand a damn good chance, not 100% guarantee, but a damn good chance of preventing you from catching it?
I mean, what are the numbers now? 90, 95%?
Yeah, I think it's
something like that.
95% with two-stage shot, because that's another thing they're talking about. Let's just do a one-stage shot so we can do twice as many people. It's not that it doesn't work with one and only works once you've had the second shot. It's that with one you get, I don't know, say 75% coverage. With the second one it goes up to in fact it might be higher than that, but with the second one it increases to 95%. So obviously that's better.
I would rather have 75 than none.
Exactly, and it means you get twice as many people and you can start creating that herd immunity.
Say that if you're one of the 5% that it doesn't work for, it actually reduces your symptoms.
Right, so it's win-win-win.
Yeah,
I saw someone else comment, I read of or I know someone who had the shot and 2 hours later died of a heart attack. Very sad, very sad. Well, if you're, I don't know how many they vaccinated, but if you vaccinated 250,000 people, then yeah, within a day, some of those would have died anyway. Some of those would have walked in front of a bus. Not being funny, shit happens. That's correlation, not causation.
Well, maybe he downed 8 bottles of Red Bull before.
Yes.
Well, the flu
you
jab,
could know.
The flu jab itself killed some people because
of course.
It's actually grown on egg albumin, isn't it? So
exactly, that's what we're concerned about with my wife.
Yeah. So anyone with a egg allergy can't have the flu jab. Full stop.
Mute Donkey's just given the figures. He believes it's 78% and 94.5%. So there you go. So yeah, it is a bit higher than my estimate. Yeah, I can understand why you want people to have the full maximum amount of coverage, but it's actually not a bad plan. Give everyone just the single shot, at least for now, and then you can look at doubling up again or whatever you need to do to improve it at a later date. But if you've got twice as many people with 75% or half as many with 94%, then the 75 is going to provide a better herd coverage, even though it doesn't protect the individual quite so much.
I mean, once you get that herd immunity, literally, this should actually, it won't kill out the virus, but it should make it less prevalent in the population.
Just like things like measles. I mean, there was still always the odd case of measles, but there's enough herd immunity that it wouldn't spread. But now, of course, with so many idiots not vaccinating their kids because of MMR, measles has got itself a hold.
The internet is a wonderful thing, but it's also a spreader of disinformation. It's used badly, it can be a very dangerous tool.
Definitely. It's sad really that it's the case. There's also some weird and wonderful stuff on there. I've not been able to find it. I don't think the website's there anymore. But don't ask me how, but I once came across a website which was the folding deck chair Kama Sutra. And it was showing folding deck chairs in various sexual positions. It was a brilliant website. That is what the internet's about. That is the peak of scientific development. We've got nuclear power stations making all that wonderful electric. We've got silicon chips. We've got liquid crystal displays just so we can watch the deck chair Kama Sutra.
Well, I did see the Book of Porn, Ken and Barbie.
Yeah. Oh dear. And if you ever checked out, and I did have a look at it today because I was talking to someone about it, the Pylon of the Month.
No.
Really, you've got to check out Pylon of the Month. And he misses quite a few months now, but it's been going for donkey's years. Each month there is a different photograph, perhaps provided by a Pylon fan, of an electricity pylon. And I remember one, and it said, it was a photo, early morning photo, lots of mist around, and it said, here's the pylon number AB/7753C, majestically looming out of the morning mist. It's a brilliant website. I still can't work out if it's just for fun or if it's serious, but worth a check out. A big shout out to pylonofthemonth.org, I believe it is.
And then you get really weird things on the internet. I don't know if any one of you know or remember Cicada 30 somewhat. I don't know what's exactly behind that. Was a kind of hunt for code. I need to look it up because I don't know.
Don't know. It's nothing that rings a bell.
3301. Cicada 3301.
And what's that?
You might want to take a look at it. It's basically a organization group that puts up riddles and clues on the internet, which you can follow, and highly cryptic things. Code to be decrypted, places that need to be visited with QR codes scanned, and so on.
That sounds
and it's
good.
Basically a hunt around the world, but no one actually knows where the end leads, because once you reach the latter stages of the riddle, you get into a closed kind of group, and there's high speculation whether or not it might be a secret service recruiting new people for decryption purposes, or it's just someone making a big fun.
It could be either. I did say.
So basically, anyone who got to the end stages hasn't come forward with what it is.
Cicada, are they the noisy beetles you get in Spain?
No, those are cicadas.
Yes.
The ones that come out every 33 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I remember many years ago, there was a message from space. And it was a simple coded message, and it was basically done sort of real time, as though it had been a message received from a radio telescope. Someone obviously had written all the codes, and the codes got more and more involved to build up things, and eventually it provided a simple image of the aliens. It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm no good at that sort of decoding and decryption and so on. I find it absolutely fascinating, and I haven't forgotten. Sometime I do plan to go to Bletchley Park and do obviously it's going to have to wait till this COVID shenanigans is over. Go to Bletchley Park because I went once before, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know that there's people obviously from around the world who might like to see it. But yeah, fascinating subject. I actually touched one of those Enigma machines. Oh yeah, press the buttons, little lights come on and everything. Little lights.
Horrible. You British just jumped on a U-boat and stole one of our Enigma machines. What kind of people do you need to be?
Yes.
I've got a really good book on coding. I can loan you if you want to read it.
Well, I do find it fascinating, Brian, but excuse me. But it's more the history of it and the techniques.
It's the history. It goes right back to the ancient, Greeks and things, how they used to do it, right up to present day, how we code in, when we actually put coding into internet, etc., and how they've worked out a way of putting a locked box within a locked box, and you get the key sent to you to open the box, and how that all works. It's a really good book. But it goes on about Bletchley Park and things like that.
I've forgotten the name of it. There's a technique of hiding something in plain sight, hiding a code in an image. So let's say this still image of me, you'd only have to change a number of pixels slightly in a certain way, in effect like a QR code, but if it was done on the black of my t-shirt and it was only a tiny shade lighter or darker, you're not going to notice. So if someone sent you that picture, which would be wonderful and you'd want to print out and put on your wall, I'm sure you wouldn't even know a code was there. So it actually, to a great extent, it doesn't matter how good the actual underlying code is if no one's even looking at it because they don't know one's there. Yeah. There is a proper word for that, isn't there? Stenography. Is it stenography?
No, stenography is writing things very short.
Steganography. It does sound familiar. Alman says steganography. So does Brian. So does Brainery. Yeah. See, not be funny. I can forget the words, but I know loads of useless crap. Oh dear. But yeah, if you haven't looked into that, that's a fascinating thing. You can imagine how easy it would be to hide a code amongst all these sparkly dots. Who's going to see that?
Oh, colon, don't point at all my videos. My videos are rubbish, mate. Sorry.
Our mighty ones found some robot porn. Look, can someone block that message? That's filthy. Absolutely filthy. Disgusting. Oh, there's apps on Play Store that do it to any of your pictures. Well, there you go. So as long as you tell the person this photo I'm sending you's got a code in messaging, and I guess separately you send them what the code is, they could decode it from that image. How interesting.
Robot sex is boring. It's binary. Or is it non-binary?
It's either in or out. Oh dear. Oh, how about the mysterious monoliths of 2020? Well, 274727, the first one in wherever it was, somewhere in the States, that was fascinating because it was an art installation, wasn't it? And then it was just accidentally discovered. That was beautiful, and of course everyone was really puzzled. But now it's popping up everywhere. I've got 3 in my garden. It's not that impressive. It's not that impressive, though.
The original one in the States got stolen as well, didn't it?
Did it? I thought they took it down themselves to protect it.
I don't know. I was told it got stolen. But I haven't seen much on it lately.
So AndreasElt says, has Gary had a go on Mage? Which Gary Wybenga? I don't know if he has. Don't know. Oh, Gary, you're having a hard time with it. You're getting your messages blocked.
What kind of things do you need to write to get everything blocked?
Yeah, Gary, post messages against me, against Globe Earth, in favour of Flat Earth. That's absolutely fine. Just I don't know what it is you have written. Just don't copy pasta. Don't have anything that's hateful. I don't know what it is you post. I'm not saying you post anything hateful, but just post decent stuff. It can be what the rest of us may consider very silly. That's fine. Okay, you did it before. You were on here and posted away quite happily. So I'd rather see that. I really would.
Colon, going back to my videos that you posted. So
I'd
done a live stream last night, and it was so good I deleted it. There was absolutely one viewer, me.
Oh, Brian.
Oh, I'm so upset. No, I didn't advertise it. It was done as a test. But
and how did it go as a test? Because there's quite a lot to it, isn't it? Juggling various things. Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't get was the Discord side of it, because there was no one on Discord to check it out to see whether I'd had it right.
Well, I guess you just have to arrange with someone to do that.
Yeah, I might do that. I might do it at some stage.
I mean, certainly if I was around, I'd happily do that with you.
Yeah, no problem.
But as you can see, you're in a Discord room, and all I've got on my... do you use OBS to capture stuff?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So on OBS, let me just have a look. I've just got, on the mixer column, where you've got the mic levels, you have one for desktop audio. That picks up the sound that comes from the Discord room. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I thought I had it wrong because you get a slight echo with it when you're listening on the headphones because of it. So I must have it right slightly.
I don't have any echo at all.
No, my voice didn't sound quite right when I had it like that.
I don't know if it
wasn't an echo.
What sort of mic are you using?
I've got a really good desk mic. But
is it one with like the mixer as well as volume on it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's probably that you need to turn down. So, I mean, if I turn mine up too much. Yes, my voice sounds funny. It sounds very, very clear, but it sounds a bit strange. And yeah, I think it might be that. But yeah, sometime I'll happily
Brilliant.
do a test with you.
I will do another test another day and have it on private sort of thing, and just have you invited in. So
Okay.
let's try
Okay.
it that way.
Well, I'm off work 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Jan. So if any of those are good, drop me a message in advance, and hopefully we can try and sort something.
Yeah, well, I'm reopening the office on the 4th, so.
Cool. Oh, so we've got Rachie0000 in the room. Good evening to you, Rachie. Oh, Gary Y. Benger has a channel. I didn't know that, Gary, me old China. You don't tell us about these wonderful videos you produce. Hello, Das.
I need to jump off now. It's getting quite late. So have a good night and have good fun, and I think I will watch the rest of the stream another time.
Oh, I shouldn't, Das, because we're going to be slagging you off, stabbing you in the back, and talking nasty things about you.
Sure. Well, I want to know that.
Should we start before he goes?
Oh, sorry?
So,
should we start before he goes?
Well, no. Das, thank you very much for joining us. You've been most welcome.
Have a good night.
You take care. And as I said, whenever it is that you're starting, really, really wish you good luck with the police training.
Yeah, thank you.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye now. Right, now he's gone. So we've got me and Brian in here. Is there anyone else in the chat wants to jump in?
Gary?
If you do, yeah, Gary. Honestly, this might be a good chance. It's only myself and Brian. You can hear that neither of us are going to be slagging you off left, right, and centre rudely. You're welcome to come in. The link to my Discord is in the description below. Just hop on there and jump into the live waiting room with a mic, headphones, and be prepared to switch off your YouTube sound. You have to just listen through the headphones, and we'll bring you in and we'll have a nice chat. What's his name? Oh gosh, who's that guy who Multi Tom eventually decided to come on, and we had a polite little chat. If people remember that, there were no issues at all. Do you remember that, Brian? I don't know if it's one you might have seen or not.
See that one. Yeah, that wasn't the night I had trouble with my mic, but I sometimes take the iPad up and listen in bed, rather than coming on. So, but I think it was one of those nights. Yeah,
I've got a feeling it was about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, but it was all right. The odd thing was, and this isn't being nasty, but with TomTom's videos, he says something, then there's a big silence for no apparent reason, and it's really, really hard because you end up with a really long video. And with one of them, I actually cut all the silences out and added them up, and it was about a third of the video. But when I spoke to him when he was on live, there were no big gaps at all. It was quite strange. I don't know if he gets nervous when he's making a video, or if it's a deliberate delivery technique.
Possibly. Expat Taffy does exactly the same thing. If you listen to one of I don't listen to his videos. I tell him I don't, and I honestly do not watch his videos because they're so boring. It's, oh, my name is Expat Taffy.
The brilliant Expat Taffy.
The brilliant Expat Taffy. And he talks about it. Yeah, exactly. And by the time he gets to making a point, you've switched off. And
his point isn't really a point at all, is it?
No.
I remember. I was looking at one of his, he was supposedly debunked something I said. I can't remember whatever, and he was going to prove the Apollo moon landings are fake. And we finally got to it. It's about 20 minutes into a 30-minute video, and it was, look, that looks like a pig's face.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What? That's it. The shadows on those rocks looks like a pig's face.
His classic one is that he's always used is that he's seen a totem pole on the moon.
Yes.
Now the thing is, it looks like a totem pole in the really old sort of like ones that were taken from printed photographs. But the actual scans now don't show it as well. You can still see it, but the bottom line is, if you turn it upside down, it no longer looks like a totem pole. Yeah. The thing is, if you get a totem pole and turn it upside down, it still looks like a totem pole. Yeah. It's pareidolia. It's your eyes are trying to make sense of the image.
that is about all he has got. I think the closest he got to something reasonable was he was showing a picture of the LEM from Apollo 9, and he pointed out the ground contact probes. For those who don't know, but if you remember, the feet of the landing module were sort of shallow cup shapes, but each one actually had a probe stuck down. I think it was about 1 metre long. So when it touched the moon's surface, it would
6 foot they were.
Yep. Oh, 6 foot. So that's closer on 2 metres. Touch the moon's surface, a little light would come on, contact. So they knew that they landed. They could cut the engines. He pointed out that that there was one in front of the ladder, and yet on the moon there, or on the alleged moon photos, there wasn't one, because what he didn't seem to realise is there was 4 on Apollo 9, and then at some point someone realised, hold on, that'll be in the way, because when they land, that thing's going to poke up at some strange angle right where the astronauts are coming down in their spacesuits, whose integrity is absolutely life critical. Last thing I wanted them to do is stab a hole in their spacesuits. We don't need one, we'll go with the other 3. So he didn't realise that. The second thing was, the picture of the LEM he had from Apollo 9 was in Earth orbit, because Apollo 9 was just a test of separate the LEM, turn it around and dock it. Can we do it? Because that's the time to practice, not when you're around the bloody moon.
I've got a video on that, Colin.
But to be honest, that's from the X-Pac taffy crap I've seen, that's the first thing I thought, that's an interesting thought. You know, okay, he's noticed something, and he's right that there were only 3, but that's got 4. Why? So I looked into it, which is where he stopped. He didn't look into it. But all the rest is, that looks like a pig's face.
He did make another point about the LEM, actually. The ladder is the last rung of the ladder is too high, really, for someone to jump up. Yeah, but it's on a 1/6 gravity. But the other thing is, the moon, when they land on the moon, the actual legs are made of a sort of like crushing material. So to take up absorb the actual landing, because they dropped the last 6 foot with no power, absorb the landing, the legs actually compress into without, they're not proper sprung. It's just like loads of aluminium foil, but done in tubes. And literally, as it crushes, the crushing factor acts as a shock absorber. So when it lands, the rungs of the ladder are about 6 inches to a foot closer to the pad.
Gotcha. So I mean, they had to think of so many things. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, but when you look at the actual documentation of all this, it's all there in black and white. I mean, these documents date back to the 60s, before Apollo.
I'm not sure if it was him or I mean, obviously other people do Apollo debunks. One of them was saying, look at the size of that lunar rover. It won't fit in the LEM. Because what they didn't realise is it folds up. Yeah, and there are videos. There are videos of it being unfolded and packed.
Yeah, and not only that, the actual bottom of the LEM forms the cover. There was no cover. It literally folded up into the LEM and was pulled down, and the bottom of the lunar rover was that cover. Yeah. So there was a tarpaulin sort of thing in front of it, but they pulled the tarpaulin off and then pulled on some lanyards. And there's lots of good videos of them actually unfolding it on Earth and how it's actually folded into.
Yeah, although when they did it on Earth, they had to make it lighter because obviously we got heavier gravity. They had to make it lighter just for the test. But yeah, it's fascinating stuff. Absolutely amazing. To have lived in that time and to have been involved in something like that. Which makes me think of my friend James M. Skipper. Did you see any of my videos with my live streams with James M. Skipper in?
No, I didn't.
He is the nicest guy. He was senior NASA test engineer. He's obviously now retired. He was involved right from the Mercury programs through Apollo through to Space Shuttle. And in fact, he was one of the test subjects of the Mercury spacesuits. He went into a vacuum chamber taken down to 10 to the whatever it was they could get that down to, that chamber, and with the temperature drop right down, and he tested that. He did it. Got photos. Absolutely incredible.
Has he posted those photos online? Because this is another one of Taffy's things. They've never tested it in a vacuum chamber. Yes, they have Taffy.
Well, I think he also may have been there. You know that guy who tested a suit in a vacuum chamber and collapsed because have you seen that? And they rushed in to save him. Yeah, because what happened? I think one of his the tubes disconnected, so he depressurized. He started collapsing. But of course, what they've got, you see, is I'm going to digress slightly. Do you remember the James May vacuum chamber test?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the two guys who are in there with him. They just got ordinary little masks on. And people say, oh, well, how can that be? Because the chambers are in sort of like two stages. There's the main stage which goes down to the vacuum as far as they can get it. But there's a secondary intermediate stage. So between full atmospheric and the very, very reduced, full atmospheric and the vacuum, it's just a very reduced pressure, so that in the event of a problem, they'll start repressurizing the vacuum chamber, but those guys are already in a very low pressure, so they don't have to get it all the way up to atmospheric, which makes sense. So they don't need spacesuits, they just need oxygen masks. So anyway, going back to it, that guy who collapsed, that's what happened. Disconnected, he started depressurizing. So they hit the panic button, which starts repressurizing the vacuum chamber. The guys who are waiting, the support staff, in a low pressure environment, could get in there that bit quicker. They rush in and got it, and he was okay. But they showed this, Flirfs have used this video and said, look, see what happens when you try to go down to vacuum. Yeah, they're well prepared, and they managed to save him.
Yes, I see you having a go at your friend Big Pig Slapper Oink about the crushing tests on the tanker. Because I put my £2 worth in there as well.
Well, he really is Mr. Flat Earther 2017, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's trotting out all the oldest, failure stuff that even flat earthers don't seem to use anymore. That's right, the railroad car crushing.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, I was explaining to him about the mechanics of a can of Coke, and
exactly. A can of Coke can withstand much more pressure. Much more pressure.
About 112 psi it goes up to if you shake a can of Coke.
Okay, so let's call that 114. So it's 100 psi greater than atmospheric pressure. So if you went up in a spacesuit at 14.7 psi, that's the only pressure it's on the suit, 14.7 psi. In fact, they don't run at 14.7. You're quite right. I knew you were just about to say that.
4 psi.
Yeah, 4 psi with a lot of oxygen. That's why it's high oxygen, because at 4 psi, a normal oxygen nitrogen mix would not give enough oxygen. So 4 psi with lots of oxygen. In fact, I think they run them slightly higher nowadays.
Yeah, they do. On the ISS,
but that was yes. I think the ISS may even be full atmospheric. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure on that. Certainly, they run them a lot higher than they used to, but it's not a problem.
I think that, they definitely use a nitrogen mix in the ISS in case of fire. But the Apollo program used pure oxygen environment because it was a consumable, and by having a pure oxygen environment at a lower pressure, basically they could carry enough consumables for the mission. So and they used basically rebreather technique, because every time you breathe in, even though you're breathing in a whole lungful, you expel something like 90% of the oxygen that you take in.
Not
so by using so basically what the Apollo spacesuits used to do was to actually test the environment of the spacesuit, withdraw any CO2, and just top up the O2 when it was needed. So it wasn't like you're running a full flow.
That's right. That's right. It's not like scuba where you breathe in from the tank, breathe out, and it bubbles away.
No, and the thing is, they didn't really have to top up the O2 with the consumables when they had the longer missions, when they had 2 or 3 EVAs. But what they did do was they said, well, what about the batteries? Well, they took a new set of batteries with them every time they went into they just changed out the battery pack and put a new one in. how is that so hard to understand?
Well, Kaj Luco, I hope I said that right, Kaj or Kai, says the ISS has a full pressure atmosphere, 1013 HPA. What is that? Something pascals, HPA? Or is that a typo? I thought I'd seen that before. Yeah.
You might have put no, it wouldn't be kilopascals. It wouldn't be a K.
Well, that's right. I'm not sure. Perhaps someone can let us know, unless that was a typo. But basically, a full pressure. Yeah, that is what I thought. Kaj or Kai. I do apologise if I got that wrong. Yeah. So, expat taffy. Sorry, not expat taffy. Big pig slapper oink. It's all the stuff that's failed. The rail cart, and I can't remember what else. It's all the typical stuff. Oh, it's bendy light or whatever the hell it is. Hectopascal.
It's one. Yeah.
M-bar, millibar.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I learnt something. Nice one. Unlike
it's 101.3 kilopascals or 14.69 pound per square inch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
The H through me.
Yeah, me too. I just thought I'd seen it before, but I've never sort of used it or thought about it in any way. I've used pascals, kilopascals in my Mage videos and PSI. And yeah, the whole thing with metric and imperial, I mix and match. In that video, I said, or one of the debunked Mage Rage, I said, we're 37 kilometres up and looking 400 miles. To a Brit, that's totally natural to mix and match like that. Sorry about the noise, guys. My heating's just kicked on. Well,
the Mage ones. Where do these flat earthers get this thing about there is a limit to vision? I just don't understand that one. Where does that one come from?
I don't know.
Why is there a limit to vision?
And why does that limit not include the stars, which are a bit further away? Absolutely.
And as soon as you get above the atmosphere, you can see out. You can see the whole Earth. But that one is just thrown in because they got no other explanation. I'm sure of it.
Oh, Brainery says they get it from lemon bird. I assume you're talking about the limit of vision. Yes, it's a. I can't show you, but it's aircon air source heat pump. So it's aircon in the summer, heat in the winter, and what happens is when it's running in heat mode, the radiator is obviously working in reverse. It gets iced up in weather like this, and then every now and then it has to switch and heat that to melt all the ice, and then switch back again. So that's the noise you can hear. It could do with a bit of oil or something, but I haven't looked at it. It is a bit squeaky, like my missus, really.
My green screen just fell down on my head. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Chris Durham says I'm lying. Don't tell him that, Chris. He says it's my spaceship warming up. You know, my aircon unit can do the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
It's a unit of distance.
I know. That was a big fat fail. I remember when I watched Star Wars when I was a kid, I realised that.
As soon as they said it, yeah.
Yeah. It's the sound, so don't think about the cold.
They play on it now. They actually try to explain it in some of the later Star Wars.
Did they? To try and get them... That would be a flat earther's technique. Can you imagine Nathan Oakley saying, "Oh, look, I'm sorry, I said parsecs, but I didn't realise what parsecs were. I'm talking about light years or light seconds or whatever, or what do you call them? AU. But oh no, he just doubled down and made up some bullshit excuse."
Yeah, the Kessler run, I think the way they explain it is the Kessler run, there's a sort of area you can go through to shorten it. Yeah, and that's what
I see.
About,
So they shortened it by 12 parsecs or whatever. Yeah, that's quite clever. Tina Jones needs coffee. I'll have a coffee, please, Tina. Thank you. That's very cool. Anyone else? Coffee? Anyone? And Tina, do you have any coffee and walnut cake? I could do with a piece of that as well, please. Thank you. She's probably gone and hasn't heard any of that. It's all wasted. Wasted. All that wit and effort is wasted on you, Tina.
I feel obliged to stay in now. I would have normally gone to bed by now, but I'm the only one here.
Oh, is there anyone else who wants to pop in for a chat and can let
Relieve me.
relieve this chap before he dies?
I've already died a couple of times on here.
Tina, Mike M does want a coffee, definitely. Oh, and Clive wants a tea. I think that's just put the kettle straight back on. It's going to be a big round. The Kessel Run, it's a black hole, says David Oliver.
Or something like that. I don't know. What do I know?
I don't know.
I did see the when I was in Australia this time last year, and I went to see the latest Star Wars movie, Force Awakens. Is it?
Okay.
But I see it in 4D.
4D.
That was fun. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, if they're on the rock fighting with the old,
you get some
swords,
wind and stuff like that.
You get the wind and the sea splashing in your face. It's fantastic. It really was good.
I went took my middle daughter with her friend to Legoland a few years back, and they had a 4D cinema there, and it even snowed. It was great. It was great. A bit of a gimmick, but it was fun. I just realised I'm stepping off my green screen there. It's not very wide. Problem is, not got much distance to the camera. It's literally one arm's length. There we go.
Yeah, I was having a problem with mine actually because the focus kept on going in and out on the green screen at the back, even though the green screen wasn't actually in view. If I moved a bit, the green screen would come into view. Oh, it was weird.
I understand. I mean, I'm just running with a little £15 Logitech webcam. It's the second one. The first one was one I had anyway, and I used that for the first 8 months of my channel, and then it died. Used my camera phone for, I think, 2 or 3 videos, and got a replacement. So I didn't even need to reinstall the software. I just plugged the new one in and it went, which is nice. It's not a bad picture. You know, £15. I'd like to upgrade at some time, but I can think of other things to upgrade first, like my wife.
Well, it was my missus bought me for this for Christmas, and I was talking about doing a live stream. She said, "Well, you might as well have one of your Christmas presents then, and stuff this in your hand."
Oh, that was nice.
Spoiled. Then I said, "Oh yeah, the only other thing I need then is a new set of headphones. Bonk, new set of headphones got given to me as well."
Oh, nice. Well, these ones, hold on. Audio Technica, so they're nothing fancy. The ones I had prior to that were just sort of £15-20 headset from eBay, from Amazon. Sorry. This is the thing. I mean, you can do this stuff on not much of a budget. The lighting helps immensely. That was one of the big buys. All this stuff has been funded by, at that time, patrons, which is wonderful. I've got 2 LED lamps. It made such a difference because before I was just using one desk lamp, and you get a reflection in the glasses. So I had to try and keep my head in a certain way to keep the reflection from appearing, but it was always happening. But what I've got, of course, is this wonderful microphone, Rode microphone on a Rode boom arm. Yay! Excellent. So you can put it in any position, and there it stays. Oh, that's a better view, isn't it? So
I can understand why you do that, because if I type on the keyboard while I was doing the live stream, you can actually hear it. Well, because I've got the mic on the desk, so that's something I need to sort out.
Yes. Well, this right now, this mic is 6 inches above. Let me just 6 inches above the keyboard. So I'll just open a notepad. So if I type, so I don't know how much you can hear. I think you probably hear some, but it's much better than it used to be. Much better. So it's the mic, the lighting, the stand, and the video editing software, because before that I was using Microsoft Movie Maker, which was fine for just doing basic things, but anything beyond that you couldn't. I use Filmora 9 for video editing, which I've been very pleased with. You know, it's not expensive software. Sorry, you got?
I've got Pinnacle Studio 23. I've just upgraded to that. I used to have 16 before that, so I'm not used to using the 23. So I've not done any videos for a long while.
So this Pinnacle is that a free software, or is it?
No. It's quite an expensive one. Yeah. But the thing is, because I had the original 16, I upgraded quite cheaply. So Well, it cost me £50 to upgrade to the latest version.
Well, Chris Durham says it's quiet keyboard. It's not. Well, it's an ordinary keyboard. With regard to quietness, it's not an ordinary key. Again, it's a Logitech cordless one. I can't abide cords on things. Although I've got it on headphones, I'm always rearranging it. But it used to sound dreadful if I typed. It really hammered on the, being picked up by the webcam mic. Absolutely dreadful. There we go. Yes, Keela, I said Filmora 9, but yeah, I've upgraded to Filmora X. That's a good thing. Shout out to Filmora. You buy it as a lifetime license. I forget exactly. It was £50 or £60, and it's already upgraded 2 times. And if that was just for the year, to be honest, I'd say, do you know what? £50-60 for the year, that was worth it. The fact it's a lifetime license is quite amazing, really. I don't know, and hopefully most people saw Fight the Flat Earth's 50th Fleur Are Idiots, when myself and other creators went on and did little videos. At the beginning, he did his, I never saw the film, his thing where he clicks his fingers and all crumbles into ashes. Then he did a video about it. I think it took him many hours to do that. I think you can possibly do that with Filmora. I don't know how much effort it is, but I mean, it's a wonderful effect. He obviously did it because it was a special edition episode, but I don't have the time, probably the skill, to invest to that extent for special effects. And so I'm not pushing the limits of the software. So I will probably, for now anyway, stick with Filmora because I've got no problems with it whatsoever. But would you recommend? Yeah. Oh, we've got someone coming to the live waiting room. The person waiting in the waiting room. I can see you, pal. I'll bring you in a minute. That gives you fair warning. So headphones on, mic on, and be ready to switch off your live stream sound and just listen through Discord. Oh, that's great. It's a new name. Someone I've not seen before. What do you reckon? Flat or globe, Brian?
Bard.
Sorry?
Webard. That's a good name.
Webard.
Webard. Arr.
Well, let's bring in Webard and meet Webard then. Okay. Hello, good evening, Webard. You are live on Mr. Sensible. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
And you're coming through clean and green. So, welcome. I don't recognise the name, do I? You've not been on before, have you?
I haven't been on live, but I've been lurking around and been... no, I've been live on any streams.
Oh, so we got a live stream virgin here. Good evening, good evening, and welcome to you. And I'm glad that you came on. Would you like to tell us a bit about yourself? Obviously, I'm not trying to pry. Don't tell us anything that you don't want everyone to know.
I do a bit of programming. I live in the Netherlands. Been looking around community a lot lately. For a while, but it's just I've been wanting to go live on a stream just to see how it is, and when I noticed that it was a little bit empty on the stream today, I thought, well,
you stepped into the breach, sir. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to assume that you're a globe earther and not a flat earther.
I am very convinced that the Earth is somewhat round.
Somewhat round, okay. So there's a little bit of doubt in there. It's somewhat round. I'll go with that. and your accent. There's one or two other people that come in the channel from the Netherlands. So, I hope you feel welcome and at home.
I always do.
Good. So, I don't know. Can you report? Oh, by the way, Brian, if you want to cut and run, well, you're welcome. Any time, just let us know. Oh, well, in fact, if you just disappear, don't worry about it. If you just need to go.
Say, who got match out to Webard?
Yeah.
Ooh. Fancy.
I worked in the Netherlands for about 6-9 weeks, and that was the best I got.
Well, it's better than me. But then,
thank you, then.
Oh, Mike M's out. Going to watch Brainy. I'll watch the rest later. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Mike. Take care. Enjoy Brainy. Tell him that Mr. Sensible is better, though. Make sure he knows that. And you're giving him support because he needs it. You take care, man. So how are things in the Netherlands then? Going back to our subject matter of COVID lockdowns and COVID deniers and anti-vaxxers and all that sort of rubbish. What's happening in the Netherlands?
It's weird. We're very proud people. Like we always think that we're doing the best we can. So it's very hard right now because.
Sorry, Webbard, sorry to interrupt. Your sound keeps going quiet and then loud, and then up to the decent volume again.
Maybe because there is. I'm trying not to move then.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, you're just saying about Netherlands, so.
Yeah, so we are very proud. So it's very hard right now that we're pushed to the facts that we're not doing that well if you're looking at the COVID numbers, like the way the positive tests go up and the hospitals being full. It's very, very hard, and like there's a very big chance that we're gonna be the last starting with vaccination, the last in the EU. That's
why?
Because I don't know.
Because I know that for whatever reason, and I'm not going to go into Brexit, but the UK was the UK was the first to approve the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, and the EU had more hoops to jump through, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, I do think that Brexit helped the Great Britain in this regard.
Yes,
a little bit. Yeah.
Well, whatever the whys and wherefores and who killed who, we're not worried about that tonight.
Yeah. No, I think one of the biggest problem in the Netherlands is refrigeration. Like
really?
These vaccines need to be kept at very low temperatures.
Minus 70, yeah.
And I think let's see what happens attitude of the Netherlands makes it that's at the very last moment we're looking at, well, how are we going to keep those as cold as possible?
Yeah. Well, I mean, every country is different, and there's rights and wrongs to everything, isn't there? I mean, it was interesting with the whole thing with Sweden, where they basically did no lockdown at all, and just wanted people to be sort of quote sensible, and that was about it. And it started off all right, but now it looks as though they made a mistake.
I've been in discussions about Sweden, where people say, well, they're not doing anything. Well, of course they're doing something. I mean, it's not like they're doing nothing at all. It's like a lot of people there do socially distance. Some do wear masks.
And I think the Swedes, excuse me, I think the Swedes are very much a people, in general, very much a people who are if told by their government, you should do this, or we would like you to do, they will tend to do that. And before any flat earther says that doesn't mean they're sheep. It just means that I think they're very respectful, very, very, very law abiding.
Well, I wouldn't think of the Swedes if I would think of an example of loyal subjects or whatever you want to call them. But I do think that Swedes, but there are countries up north that are even more to themselves. They don't. They do socialize, but they're really they socialize in their own group.
Yes.
So they don't allow you into their group as easy as, well, for instance, the Dutch. Like you want to be nice to everyone. At least that's my perspective from the inside.
I mean, here a lot of people and I've come across people who are desperately trying, desperately hard to make sure that they follow every rule, even when, and I come across one person, it was, I'm not talking about just the fact you're isolated, but it was causing them some extreme hardship. They were in a situation that didn't really fit in. They couldn't see a way that they could deal with this situation following the rules. So, I mean, some people are really trying hard, and other people are just say, sod you, I do what I want. You know, I don't care. It only gets old people, not me.
Yeah.
So what do I care? And that's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I've I've seen a lot of people, and they know what it does, but they look at the rules and they see of course there's like one rule. If you're comparing one rule with another, you're like, well, why is that rule so different from the other? Why if you have like if you have glasses, you can it's like 6 people instead of 5. Like they don't understand that. They're like, well, those rules are crap, so I'm not gonna follow any of them. They don't understand like the law of big numbers, where if you're actually chipping away like a little bit, it will help a little bit.
Yeah.
But like all those tiny bits will come
Add up.
together.
Yeah, absolutely. Just with regard to that, I did see a tweet. I can't remember if I retweeted, and if you aren't, I am on Twitter, everyone. On the thing does pop up every now and then. It's Mr. Sensible. But I saw a tweet where some creationist said, if there really were dinosaurs and they were all killed by a giant asteroid, why weren't humans? And someone put a reply saying that's because the cavemen practiced social distancing. They kept 65 million years apart.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think it's already like 8 months ago that I've seen it, but it's beautiful.
Isn't it just
really,
it's perfect? I didn't realise it was off.
It's like with flat earthers, they actually think that we're having an honest debate with them.
Yeah.
And colloquial they actually think we're taking them serious by getting into a conversation with them. It's like, no, there's no way you're gonna convince anyone that the earth is flat. It's like that's not even that. There's no competition.
Yeah. I mean, they're onto a loser, really, aren't they?
Yeah, and in that regard, like the best thing you can actually do is you can have a little fun with them, and sometimes it's at their expense. And yeah, it's just some beautiful sometimes, and you get great memes like the social distancing for millions of years is one of them.
Yeah, I mean that had me excuse me. That had me really laughing when I saw that. I thought it was an absolute cracker. It does remind me when I was about 20 years ago, and I can't even remember how I ended up in the situation. But I was with a group of other people, most of whom were a couple of years younger than me, and we're having a talk given to us by a minister of a church. And he was talking, obviously, about the Bible. And someone said, it was a straightforward question. They said, I don't understand. Where do dinosaurs fit in? And someone else piped up and said, well, not many places because they're quite big. Which I thought was hilarious. That was the end of that. That was the end of that discussion. I just kept laughing.
Yeah. There's some of those. It's hard to get back to. No, I'm here to sell you this idea of a Sky Daddy and stuff like that. There's no way you're coming back to that.
Well, I just seen a wonderful comment by Mandevil saying MC Toon says, I cheat at debates by always choosing the factually correct side. That's brilliant.
That's really, that's...
It helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really helps. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's why, that's why there's a big distinction between like debates about actually actual things and debate about philosophical questions and stuff like that. Like there's it's so different because you're already going in there. Like in one instance, you're going in there like, I know what the correct side is, even if you're like lying to yourself and stuff. But you're going in with, I know the correct side, and I want that side to win. And like the more philosophical debates, you're going in like, oh, let's see if I'm actually learning or getting another perspective from this.
That's right, and you're giving an opinion rather than stating facts.
Like that's one of the best debates I've ever seen. I don't even know what it was about, but it was like there was not one fact. It was like all opinions. Like everything that was said was, well, in my opinion, I think that if we're doing this and this, and it was beautiful because it was they actually went into each other's opinions, like, oh, it's funny that you say this because I would think, and
yeah, a proper discussion, interesting discussions, finding out someone else's views. Because with things like that, there is no right answer. I might think one thing, you think something else, but when you explain your view, even if I don't say, right, I ditch my view, I'll accept yours, it might move my view slightly, and that's good too. That's good too.
Yeah.
Oh, what has Gary Wybenga done something? I see his name popping up. Oh, right. So,
is there any are there flat earthers in chat?
Well, we get Gary Wybenga in here. Rachie0000. I don't know exactly what you are, Rachie, if you're still here. Seems to be a bit more open.
Multi-tom-tom. I've seen multi-tom-tom in there sometimes,
Multi-tom-tom,
but I haven't
yeah.
seen him today.
No, I've not seen him today. Rachie's sort of somewhere in between, and I've seen her say things, explain things to flat earthers, but also ask questions of globe earthers. And I think that's an open. If you've got an open mind and you're questioning, that's an honest and honourable position to have. Not be funny. We might think, well, you're wrong. It's obvious, but okay. If she's still working through it, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I'm withholding my opinion about Rachie because I've seen her say things like everyone here. You come across each other in chats, different videos, different streams.
Yeah.
I've seen her say things where I'm like, well.
Well,
it's not
okay.
Really honest of you to say it like that.
Okay, and obviously I wasn't there and I didn't see it, and you have your own opinion, and I can only really comment on how I have found her. She came on we had a live stream. She came on. We were talking about mage images. Most of the video, the stream was trying to process images real time, and then we had some connection difficulties. Yeah. But I've had messages with her, and everything's been totally okay. So as far as I'm concerned, I've got no problems. Yeah, if I found out and she was obviously lying about something, I'd call her out on it. But to date, there's been no issue. So that I can only speak as I find. Yeah. I see we got another guest.
I think it has to do with like the chat in your stream and in the stream of MC Toon is completely different than a Jail Warren or what is it, Irish Demon or MCM Fight Flat Earth or something like that. Like those chats can be harder, so you're getting to see someone
a different side of them, perhaps. Different side.
Yeah. And I'm just getting that like you're acting like you're smart enough, but you're still asking those questions like you're dumb enough. It just doesn't add up. But again, I'm withholding my opinion about her because I haven't seen enough to actually make a full opinion on that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. We have another new guest. Let's bring in Paul Heath 007. Dun dun dun. Good evening. Oh, he's run away again. Or did I drop in? Let me try again. You can run away again if you need to, Paul. Hello, Paul. Did I drop you accidentally, or did you run away?
Oh, apologies. Are you there?
I'm here, and you're coming through clean and green. How are you?
Oh, excellent. I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you. It is your first time on this stream as well, isn't it?
It is.
Well,
It is.
welcome to you. Paul meet Webbard, Webbard meet Paul. And we got
Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem. And like I did with Webbard, would you like to tell us something about yourself? Have you got a channel? What side of the debate are you? But nothing more than your happy revealing, of course.
Yeah. No, I've got no channel. No channel at all, but I'm on the logical side of the debate.
Ah. So which one's that? Is that the flat or the globe?
The only one that makes sense.
Oh, that will be the
round.
globe then. Cool. You sound like a UK boy.
Round. Absolutely. I was looking. I managed to get a few comments through to you earlier on with regard to the current pandemic and the very bizarre way that some people are acting and reacting towards it.
Yeah.
I just want to first of all thank you for what you're doing. I think it's absolutely superb.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
Though this is something that is genuinely affecting a lot of people constantly.
Yeah.
And I've been in several discussions with people who are on the anti-mask side of things and the anti-vaccination side, and not one single piece of it makes sense.
No.
Not one single piece of it makes sense, but it is all consistently making life harder for everyone else who wants to get on with life and move forwards.
Definitely. And I mean, if you said to them that if you catch COVID, that's a 100% chance that you will die, would they take the vaccine then? Would they wear a mask then? You can bet your bottom dollar.
Yeah, they absolutely would.
You've seen it in the U.S. There's a Republican that started like this whole pandemic with it's fake and they're overblowing it, but he was first in line receiving the vaccine.
Yeah.
And there was also
there
was also a denier a long time back. I did mention him in a stream months ago. Whichever state or county he was in, he was exactly that, anti-vaxxer, anti-COVID, as in it's rubbish and so on. He not only caught it, he was the first in his state to get it. He ended up on a ventilator, but just before he was put on a ventilator, he said to the nurse, "I think I made a mistake." He died.
I've seen that.
He died.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more of that. Like that's and it's always hard that because these are like incident stories and it's not a correct image of like the whole scale, but you've seen multiple stories of people burying multiple family members.
Yeah.
While going on about it's not that hard and our hospitals are empty. It's bonkers.
Yes, I've seen that as well. A lot of them saying about hospitals. Or I went into the hospital for whatever and there wasn't loads... Well, they're in the wards, aren't they? I mean, what do they expect? The other thing that makes me sick is when you see all these people say, well, these nurses have got time to do TikTok dance videos. Well, I'm sure they get breaks, and I'm sure that spending 10 minutes letting off a little bit of steam in what must be a horrible, horrible, stressful situation where you're seeing people die every day... I'm sure that's actually a good thing. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I got challenged with this earlier on today, ironically, it was on a chat that FTFE was involved in, actually. And someone posted a load of videos and said, if wards are full, why is this the case? How can it be going on? It's obviously just, it's all fake, it's all nonsense. And my only response to it was, well, actually, cite me the hospital, show me where this happened, what department was it?
Yeah.
This could be a completely unrelated department that isn't dealing with COVID. They could be on a legitimate break. It could be before the shift. It could be after the shift. And people do need to let off steam at times like this. I've been on there. I've seen them making the videos on the wards after the shift. It's absolutely fine. It's good. It brings people together.
Yeah, it helps bond them as a team. A couple of things. I did put a thing in the chat. 1 for I would vaccinate, 2 for I would not. They were all ones, I think, apart from Clive Wells, who said 42, and JB, who said 3.14. But there were no 2s there. No. And I do appreciate someone might want it and not be able to. I don't know if they are aware of who can and can't now. And Paul, someone has commented that you do sound a little like Lily Savage.
I've been called worse.
There's been a lot of comments about your accent. I think that the standard Dutch English accent isn't really something that people like.
I think accents are nice. I can think of 1 or 2 accents across the UK which, to my ear, sound a little ugly, but I wouldn't judge someone because of their accent. But actually, I think the Scouse accent is one of the nice ones. I like the
appreciated
sort of Edinburgh brogue as well.
Is the Scouse accent, is that what Paul has?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Go on, you've got to say it. Hey. Go on, do it, Paul. Hey. Come on.
Hey, what?
I'm trying not to insult anyone, but is that like north of Birmingham?
It's more sort of
northwest
and towards in the Liverpool area, that sort of area.
Yeah.
To be fair, Webard, generally people will in the UK will make fun of other people's accents across the UK. For the most part, the vast majority, it's only fun teasing.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm sure that once Paul learns to speak properly, it won't be a problem anymore, will it?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Dutch always makes fun of our own accent, and we know that our accent is very distinguished, and we call it steenkolen Engels. It's like stone coal English, because it's the thickest when it's on the Discovery Channel, and it's like there's like a boat and people are actually shoveling coal into a furnace, trying to speak English, and then they have the very thick accents of what the Dutch normally sounds like. And you're just ashamed if you if you hear something someone do that.
You shouldn't be ashamed of your
accent.
accent. Yeah, but you shouldn't be ashamed of your accent. An accent is an accent. It's part of who you are and where you're from. I will just read out a super chat from the Snark a few minutes ago. Sorry, I can't see on this. €2 saying, we want Arnold and cheese. Well, I'm afraid, Snark, that Arnold has decided not to take part tonight. He's socially distancing. Very socially distancing. I'm not sure where he is. I haven't seen him this evening. Oh dear. So, Paul, I'm not asking you to tell. I'm not asking you to tell me if you're from Liverpool.
No.
But I understand that you know that you're in Liverpool because all the wheelie bins are up on bricks. Is that right?
And not all of them. As long as they're purple, it's okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, actually, I've been to Liverpool twice. Once was just on a delivery or something, but once I stayed for about 3 days with a friend who was living there at the time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lovely city.
Good.
Were you delivering wheelie bins?
No. But I was in a lorry, and this kid came up. This is a true story. This kid, about 15 years old, came up to me on a bike. I'm going to try the accent, Paul, but I know it'd be terrible. Don't take this as an insult.
No.
He said, hey, how much for your Steelers? I said, what? How much for your Steelers? What are you talking about? The steel wheels. He wanted to take the wheels off the lorry.
Brilliant.
Oh, but seriously, I
Make some
thought
good money on them.
Yeah. I wouldn't get home again, though, would I? But yeah, I saw the Liver building, and went under the Mersey, and yeah, really liked it. Really liked it.
Good.
My first connection with Liverpool, of course, was the Liver Birds on the telly when I was a kid.
Yes.
Do you remember them? You're dancing, you're asking, I'm asking and dancing. And I've said that. Sorry, this is. I do not want to turn this into a let's roast Paul. No, definitely not.
No, I can.
I'm sure you can take it. But,
I work in psychology. Trust me, I get worse every
oh no!
day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, careful, guys. We got a trick cyclist on here.
I'm just disturbed by the news of Clive Wells.
I had a Scouse friend whose nickname was Hubcap. Oh dear.
Superb.
Oh, there's someone talking about an accent from Denmark.
What are they saying? Oh yeah, some accents almost impossible to understand.
Denmark is very easy. It's just putting a hot potato in your mouth and then speaking.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I love Denmark.
Good evening,
Hey,
Colon.
Mr. Sensible.
Hey,
I'm
Colon.
just questioning over here that you're having a go at my cousin over there having a pop. It's not on, you know. All right, you calm down. All right,
All right,
son.
calm
Well, I'm
down,
coming-
calm
I'm gonna
down.
stay in here
Hey,
longer.
hey, calm down. I am not having a pop. And actually, I'd forgotten that was your sort of accent. But no, that's honest truth. That is one of the accents I like. You must have accents that you've heard that you think, that's a really nice accent. Or that one, you know, interesting accent. And, that one sounds a bit ugly. But it's not to have a go at the people. It's just different accents. But honestly, the Liverpudlian one is one I like. I do like the Geordie accent, you know. Yeah, I like some of the gentle Scottish accents, whereas some of them can sound quite harsh. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. We all agree then. We have sorted out the
Oh,
world.
definitely. No, the thing is, Keelan's been having a go at me with my posh boy accent on the outside here. Well, unlike Paul, I have been away from Liverpool for a long time. I left to join the military, and I've stayed away for a long time. But I can always drop back into it, especially when I go across the Rocket Roundabout. There's no problem whatsoever. You know what I mean, Paul?
I know exactly what you mean.
As soon as you
Exactly
pass
what you
the
mean.
threshold, that's it. You're back in.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long either.
No.
Yeah. Well, Colon, it's
No.
nice.
When
It's
you find
nice.
the chippy.
It's nice to see you in your shell suit with your tight perm.
Don't knock it. I've actually got a picture of me in a shell suit when I was younger.
Oh,
I want that picture.
The worst thing as well, it was the Sergio Tashini as well.
standard issue.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Kraft is just calling you a posh boy.
Well, Crafty doesn't have an accent.
Doesn't have an accent. Actually, there you go. Crafty has a lovely accent. You do, Crafty. You have a gorgeous accent.
But Crafty has a different accent from Creaky, so or, at least they don't sound the same. So one of them should have an accent, and I know it's not Creaky.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, I mean, he claims he doesn't have an accent. Well, I only know he claims that because someone translated it for me. I wouldn't have known what he was saying otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, I learned today that he's making, 200,000, I think, pounds.
Yeah.
So,
No, dollars.
YouTube channel from the, the Bureau of Counterintelligence or something. So, yeah, I think he has money enough to get rid of his accent.
He could pay someone else to speak. Actually, he does. He pays me to speak for him. It saves him all that mucking about.
Yeah, it's
Creaky, I want my money.
It's just Mr. Sensible with a voice changer.
Well, if you go by Creaky's video, then Mr. Sensible's on £580 per video, as long as it's one video per week.
So what's all this about? Is he talking about his shield money or something? His NASA money?
Yeah, there was a video about an old video where they tricked the flat earther into thinking that there was actually shield money coming from NASA.
I haven't got money. I just got
Barnabas Nagy.
Oh man, no, he's someone I haven't dealt with for a long time. Hello, Keela.
Hello, everyone.
Listen to that.
All right, Chuckles.
Come on, speak.
Colon wants a war. Colon wants a war.
He wants a what? He wants a what?
We battled across that Irish Sea for a long time, and I managed to get the hell out of Ireland.
And we,
Unfortunately for you,
Keela, in this, we have a huge arse.
Hello, Mr. Sensible. How are you?
How are you, and how is your huge arse?
Oh, well, it's still there. I haven't been in to speak to you for a while, so I thought I'd pop in.
You're very welcome. And I did get your message, my friend. I've not been able to reply. I'll be honest and say I don't know if I'm going to have time. But if there's some, I've forgotten off the top of my head what it was you would ask. But I did get your message. In fact, I got it right there, so I can find out what. Oh no, that's someone else's. Oh, beg it. Oh no, there it is.
Well, I'll just because it's open to everyone, so I'll just.
Well, shall I read it out then?
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, Mr. S, hope you're enjoying the break. If you look on my community page, I've sent out a call for contributors to a compilation video, a bit like your 1-minute debunks. Let me know if you'd like to be part of it. HTTPS : or seven. Yeah, so explain it to us all then, Hugh. Jars.
Well, I participated in a collaboration video with Johnny O from the Pothole, and that was a bit of fun. It was basically just anything just an unpopular opinion we might have. And then I thought, then I saw Brandon Toy complaining that Conspiracy Cats was saying to him, "You just don't understand." He was saying, "Oh, I'm not having that. You can't tell me I don't understand." Well, the reason they're telling you don't understand is because you're demonstrating you don't understand. So I'm thinking, well, Flirfs just can't get no respect, can they? So I thought I'd do a collaboration video because there's many, I can't just do it by myself. That'd just be my perspective. I want the whole community's perspective. So a lot of people have already said they will. I just want a 60-second thing where people are looking at a Flirf, well, not necessarily at the person, but their ideas and why they don't deserve respect, and just explain why in 60 seconds. And I'll put it all together, and that should be, hopefully, they won't pay any attention to it because they're not teachable people, but at least it'll help
have a
the
laugh.
rest of us understand the way things. Well, we'll have a laugh as well. Yeah.
I'll just read
trying
out.
to be nice about it.
I'll just read out a super chat. B-Ball for life. Super chat at $5 US. Thank you, B-Ball. Saying it's time to make a Brandon Toy versus Mage video. He thinks he's debunked it. He's live now. Well, B-Ball, I did have Brandon on a live stream not that long ago. It was very polite. That was okay. I'm not sure if he's done another video. He was on a Mage Rage list anyway. I've forgotten what his mistakes were at the time. If he does another Mage debunk, I will tackle him again. But as it stands, he hasn't come up with anything new that I'm aware of. I've got a Mage Rage video coming out probably Thursday, and I've got what's his name? Kyle Adams, Flat Earth Institute of Science.
Oh God.
Yes, but he had done.
Whenever anyone says the Flat Earth Institute of Science, I just laugh my head off. It's such contradiction in terms.
But
what's going on in the background?
I don't know, but someone's having a good time.
Yeah, or otherwise.
Or otherwise. Yeah, so...
Do they have a lot of rats in the north of England?
But I was saying that Kyle Adams had done a respectful debunk. He had used the correct camera. He had deliberately chosen images that were within the non-distorting frame of view. So I have to give him kudos for that. He did some stuff with the image scrunching, and I think he tried to do it fairly honestly. He came up with a wrong conclusion. But get this, he has. I asked him to do another response to my debunk, and he has. And he has actually moved positions. He has accepted something that I explained to him. So that's wonderful. You know, he hasn't come all the way. He's
Baby
still
steps, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he was open and said, "Do you know what? I've learnt something." That's brilliant, and so I'm going to give him a second fully respectful response video. As I said, he has not got everything right, definitely not, but he both times he's done nice, respectful, thoughtful videos, and that's exactly what he's going to get back is a nice, respectful, thoughtful response. So that will be coming soon.
He is very special. He just doesn't fit in with the flat Earth community because he actually listens to people.
Well,
he still gets it wrong, but
yeah, I mean, he definitely had listened to me about this particular aspect, so I was very pleased about that. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to open up an e-liquid here.
Yeah,
Blight.
sorry. The mighty one. I'll take a little bit of the pressure off. The mighty one in the chat says, "Get Crafty to say 3." So there's an ongoing thing with especially with Dubliners, trying to say words with th. We don't like them.
Go on then.
So it depends on where you're from and how tired you are. So it's either 3 or tree.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love to hear tree for some like it has a ch.
Tree fellas.
Yeah, tree.
Tree fellas.
So yeah, there you go.
33.
The mighty one, I hope you're happy having to explain that. But if you're on the north side of Dublin, it's D. So instead of saying the, it's d. It's d. It's not the, it's d. I'm a Southsider.
So give us a sentence with that in. How that would be used.
Oh, jeez. Then I have to put on the Skanger accent.
Oh, what? Are you insulting them?
Oh, God.
I'm trying to look up the lyrics from any song by the Dubliners.
Yes, Dubliners or the Pogues. There you go.
The Pogues. I love the Pogues.
So yeah, listen to the Pogues and you'll hear a Northside Dublin accent. Yeah, it's a weird thing. So some of the people are saying that I don't have an accent. I have multiple. Because I'm from Dublin. I went to university in Maynooth, which is in Kildare, Yuppie land, and I've lived in Cork for I've lived in Cork for 10 years. So. Or the bulk of 10 years, so I have a bit of a mix. So yay!
Well,
and
I think
yes, I'm okay. I'm just tired.
Well, Crafty, as I said, and it's honest truth, I think you have a very pretty accent. I think it's lovely.
Yeah, thank you. I have been working all day, so if I sound a bit weird, it's mainly because of that, and because obviously I'm a little bit upset still.
Yes.
Can I make a point about accents?
Didn't you have a stream where you were talking about someone tried to make you do the relaxation thingy, the talking relaxation?
Oh yeah, the ASMR.
Well, just before you tell us about that, Keela, I'd just like to say Brian Robson he's left the room and he's gone to bed with his iPad. Thank you very much for joining us, Brian. That was a good chat, mate. Thank you. Yeah, carry on, Keela.
Brian, I want to talk to Brian at some point. I've sent you a message, so if you would get back to me when you have time, we'll have a chat. Yeah, people are... Bob Nodell's gyroscope, 33. There you go. There's no H. There's no H.
That's what they were waiting for. I wanted to make a point about accents. In Australia, we've got an Irish immigrant, I guess, called Jim Owen. He's a comedian, and he's very prominent here. And he does a routine where he talks about the difficulties about being understood in Australia. And he says he goes up to the pub and orders 3 beers, and no one knows what he's talking about. So he's changed it to be, I'll have 2 beers and another one. It works every time.
That's fantastic. Hey, I'll tell you what, Hugh, when I was in Arizona, I had no end of people complimenting me on my accent and saying what a lovely Australian accent I have.
Nice.
Yes, you speak proper like what we does.
Yeah, David Oliver is now trying to torture me. No, David, no.
Oh, what's he said?
Just no.
Crafty Keela should say, there were 3 fellows and they felt smart. There were 2 fellows and they felt smart. There were 1 fellow and they were all felt smart together. Go on then.
Nope.
Who's smart?
Not happening. Do you know why it's not happening?
Go on, why is it not happening?
I got up this morning at, I think, 6:30, 7:00. I've been in work since like 10, and I got off at 7. Weirdly enough, it was the first proper normal day because I've been working crazy hours over Christmas, so I'm back in work. So my brain has not caught up to anything yet. So even looking at that sentence is making me confused. But David Oliver, save that for my next live stream, and I will say it when I'm actually in my right mind.
Well, there you go, David.
I'm not outright refusing. It's just because I'm so tired I can't even read the words properly.
There you go, David. Oh, it's all gone quiet.
Well, that ended that conversation.
That did indeed.
Here's something. I don't know if you've been noticing, Hugh, but I have a thing with Joey Rocha coming up.
Ooh.
I know.
You have a thing with Joey Rocha? He's married.
Joey.
And he's told me he loves me.
He's a very special, unique human being. For anyone who doesn't know Joey Rocha is a guy who lives in Hawaii,
Maui,
next to a volcano. Is it?
It's Maui, to be exact. Yeah.
Yeah. So he lives He lives at the foot of a volcano, but he doesn't believe in volcanoes. So this is just to set you up for the level of crazy that we're dealing with. He's absolutely obsessed with the Mandela effect, and trying to debunk it. Now it's interesting in itself.
What?
Yeah, and the way in
But
which
you can't debunk it.
The way in which he's debunking it is, well, that didn't happen, therefore it's debunked. So I was going to respond with a video, which I have ready to go, and then something interesting happened yesterday. I actually went onto one of his live streams. He was live at the time talking about the Mandela effect, and obviously psychology and sociology is where I'm based.
It's your shtick.
Yeah, so I challenged him to a debate or a discussion.
Oh, I thought you could say an arm wrestle.
Yeah, I'd win that. Even with noodle arms, I'd still win. But so he agreed. So I'm gonna hold off on the video because I don't want him to be able to say, "I know what you're going to say." So, for anyone, because I did say that I was gonna release that video at some point, I will. But after we have, yes, Joey Rocha, the one Simon Dan dealt with. So we're hopefully we'll do it on Agree to Disagree and have a bit of a laugh doing it. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, he's a special one, Joey. He's actually quite a nice, sweet sort of guy, really. He's just into his crazy stuff as well. And the funniest thing about the Mandela effect is the reason why he's being so adamant about it right now is because he thinks it makes the truth community look like a joke.
Well, to some extent
Joey.
it does.
Too late.
No. To some extent it does, because the truth community, as he puts it, will jump on the more crazy aspects, such as multiple universes and dropping in and out of them and whatever. But the Mandela effect in psychology is collective memory, false memory to be exact. And so he doesn't understand that the importance for psychologists and for understanding the Mandela effect isn't the fact that people are wrong and have different memories of the same event that are completely conflicting, but it's how and why. And so understanding how the brain works really comes into that. So that's going to be one to watch out for.
Okay.
I'm definitely
priming's a
looking
big
forward
part
to
of
that.
Well, JB says that Joey's actually got an IQ of 120 because he took 2 tests and added the results together. Now, the thing is that is assuming that he could add the 2 results together and someone else didn't do that for him.
Is it that he got 12 on one and 0 on another and he just added 3?
Well, that would be his sort of adding, yeah. I don't think he's that dumb, really. He's just easily gullible, that's all. And he likes being involved in all this weird crap. Oh, he's definitely wrong. He just likes being involved in all this weird crap. It gives him a sense of purpose, really. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It makes him feel special, makes him feel different. I know something you don't know.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, you don't.
Clive, I don't mind if he doesn't turn up on time as long as he turns up, because he did agree. He did agree like a couple of weeks ago to debate PhD Tony, but PhD Tony has PhD in his name. He's not actually going to debate PhD Tony, whereas he doesn't really know me, and so I'm hoping that will mean that he'll show up. Then he'll agree.
Well, that was the first time you ever went on one of his live streams, I believe.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it was
he has
fun.
no idea what you're about.
It was fun. Although all he has to do is actually look at my channel.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he's made me a moderator on his channel?
I saw that.
Wow.
So what you do? You're busy muting all his comments.
No. I don't want to be nasty about
I'm
it.
sure you wouldn't.
Because that's what they do.
Yes,
I don't want to
absolutely.
do what they do.
Absolutely. Well, that's what. What's his name? Right the Hand. When I had arranged that debate with him, and it all got a bit heated, and then he finally demanded that he would only come on the stream, and he gave a couple of conditions, and I got rid of Colon as my moderator and made him moderator.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can you
That's not a
imagine
debate.
that? Right the Hand.
No.
Right the Hand
I
who's got
couldn't
kicked.
imagine that at all.
Because didn't he get
Oh, I can
booted off the
imagine it, I
flat?
just don't like it.
He got booted off of Flat Earth 24/7 or whatever it is called.
Right,
Yeah, he did.
33
Really
guy,
screen
right?
afterward.
And he what?
Well, that's one of these things, but yeah, he's the guy who lost the fight to the woman.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Um,
that guy.
No, not
Mr.
that
Right.
guy.
He could beat
That,
anyone.
that guy just ran away from YouTube.
I love,
Mr. X.
Christopher Bell says the volcano
Oh,
that
dear.
doesn't exist will probably erupt and the debate will be cancelled. Probably.
Yes, see, sorry, you just called me.
Yeah, just for a short one. A certain right the hand put a video out today
Oh,
where
yeah.
he tried to turn around and say that maths was rubbish
Okay.
because 1 and 1 cannot make 2.
Right.
Because if you have one thing
Yes.
and you have the same thing again,
Yes.
you add them up, you have 2 of the same thing. So A
So
plus
it's one
A would
kind.
be 2A. Yeah, you have one kind, or you have 2 of the same kind.
Oh God.
Not
That's
one of
bad
of
enough
a
with
different kind.
that's bad
So
enough with
he's a
creationists. That's bad enough with creationists and the flood. They're kinds.
all you need to debunk that is I have one apple, I have one banana. How many objects have I got?
I think you're doing
Exactly.
it wrong. It's actually, I got 1 subscriber to my YouTube channel.
And stop there.
So math is wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
He's a
it.
clearer example of Dunning-Kruger than that, really. I mean,
Dunning-Kruger.
I'll raise you again. A guy that lives at the foot of a volcano, not believing in volcanoes.
well, that's pretty
I'll
stupid
double
compared-
down on that one.
It's hard to
That's
be.
about
I'll-
the same as saying 1 + 1 does not equal 2. I mean, to me, that's about the same level.
I'll double down on that one because I did actually catch Joey on a live stream for 2.5 hours
Yeah.
eating mushrooms.
Yeah,
What,
that happened.
Oh, I did a video on
Yep, that happened.
That
Yep,
was his
brilliant.
stream. It was a mushroom stream.
Hilarious.
So,
Weird.
on Dunning-Kruger, there's actually a report from someone that said Dunning-Kruger might not be the thing that we think it is. So, it's. I mean, this is new and stuff, but it's entirely possible that in a year, like, we can't use Dunning-Kruger anymore. Because
No, Tom-
Dunning-Kruger has been debunked.
Well,
Do you know, it actually it
By right
hurts
the hand,
because it hurts because Dunning-Kruger, although it explains it perfectly, it some of the levels that they go to, it's just off the charts. And
But-
I don't think we need a new form of measurement.
well, I think
for
the most
level of cognitive
Keela,
dissonance that we
I
have.
think the most perfect Dunning-Kruger thing, and I don't know if you're aware of this, Webard, I've mentioned it in before, is Multi Tom Tom. When he said he'd debate anyone, and because he challenged Neil deGrasse Tyson, and someone said in his
Yes.
chat,
I had all these conditions.
Someone said in the chat, Dunning-Kruger at his finest, and he said, "Who's Dunning-Kruger? I'll debate him too."
Yeah.
He's,
That was
he's
brilliant.
probably German, right?
Yes, that's it.
Speaking-
Yeah.
Speaking of Dunning-Kruger, myself and Conspiracy Cats are starting to work on a 2-part video where we're looking at in-depth Dunning-Kruger and the imposter syndrome. So, that's another thing to watch in the new year.
Oh.
See if you can have a chat to Professor Dunning, because I know he's quite approachable. I haven't.
Yeah, well, I did say
I've heard that.
I did say to Tom that I know him, and I could arrange the debate. Where did he want the debate? But he never got back to me on that.
Even though he said he'd debate anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what have I dropped?
I mean, I found the article about Dunning-Kruger effect probably not being real, and that's because they're talking about Mr. Dunning actually saying the lessons affect us, not them. So Dunning-Kruger is not an effect on dumb people; it's an effect on competent people or people that's trying to be as competent as possible.
There's
Wow.
something
Yeah.
sweet about Dunning-Kruger, though. It's not someone being wrong. Anyone can be wrong, but being wrong, being so sure you're right, and really putting yourself out there and making
Despite
yourself
all
look
evidence.
stupid. Yeah, exactly. It's
John Cleese actually knows Professor Dunning, and he did a little. He was interviewed at one point, and this came up, and he said, "Look, my friend has released this paper which explains all this. Stupid people are stupid because they don't know they're stupid."
yes.
And that's Dunning-Kruger. Well, that's one part of Dunning-Kruger. The
Yeah.
other part of Dunning-Kruger is that smart people don't understand how smart they are. So that's why they can never explain things properly to people who aren't quite as smart.
You must have seen that curve of the Dunning-Kruger curve, which shows.
Yep, Mount Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the idea that John Cleese explained was that the skills you need to understand whether or not you're stupid are not held by stupid people.
Well, yeah. And we have to realize that it's misinformation, not the lack of information. It's
Yeah.
like
Misunderstanding. too.
but it's like I have a lot of information about this, but I'm not able to control it properly. It's not a lack of information that you're making things up.
Are we still on? Everything went dead quiet.
No, you're not.
You were
I
kicked.
do that sometimes.
We kicked
So
you
why am I
5
back?
minutes ago.
Oh man.
Well, it just shows good taste on your part.
Well, I'll probably be wrapping up in just a few minutes, guys. Okay.
Grand, because
Okay.
I do have to go to sleep at some point. I'm back up.
Sleep
I'm
is
in work
sleep
again
is for
tomorrow.
wimps.
And then I have a few days off. Well, 2 days off. I'm back in on Saturday and then back in on Monday. But yay, I have
Well,
2 days off.
Yeah, sleep is for wimps, Keela.
Sleep is for the week.
Yeah.
I'll rest when I'm dead and all that shit. I know. I probably anyway, because I'll be watching Team Skeptic. He's going live in about half an hour. So I'll
Okay.
probably be lurking in his chat as I do. I'm getting very good at the lurk.
You are.
Yeah, but before I do drop out, thank you for announcing about Bull.
Yeah.
I am, if it's cool with you, I am going to share the link to Sean Hufford's post.
Please do. It
PayPal
has
again.
been shared. Share it again. Yeah.
And just to explain what that's about, Bull lived in Florida. His family is in Colorado. His service dog is hopefully now in retirement. Is staying with Astronomy Live at the moment, but we need help to get it. They need help to get the dog back to his family, his sister. So that's one part of it, and obviously the other part of it is whatever expenses to get Bull home and buried and all of that. So
Thank
please
you,
help.
Keela. Thank you. So a worthy cause, and I'm just opening the window to make a donation to that. Thank you. Well, interesting stream. We had a topic. We started on the topic. We wandered off. We came back. We wandered off. Came back a couple of times. Met some new people. It's great stuff. Really enjoyed it as always. Plans. As I said, I've got a video, and the next video is a Mage Rage. It's in the can. It's uploaded, ready to go. That will be a channel I have never tackled before. I've looked at some of his stuff before and never found anything particularly of interest, but because it's Mage and he actually went into it quite a big way, I thought I've got to do that one. So that's coming up. After that, I'm not sure. And where are we today? We're Tuesday, aren't we? So that'll be Thursday. I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so there will be something. Possibly a live on Saturday, but I'm not sure. I might do one on Sunday. I thought of having a word with Creaky, finding out what time he's on, and perhaps doing a live straight after him. We'll see.
He goes live at
9?
7:30.
That's easier. That's even easier. Yeah, sure. I can manage that.
You forget that I'm there every week. He goes live at 7:30 to 9 o'clock, and then Pip starts at about 9:15.
Has she moved to a Sunday now? Is this the Whiplash?
She does Whiplash. She does it on Friday and she does it on Sunday, I think.
Oh right, because I quite often
and then forgets to stop.
Yeah, well, quite often I've done a stream and she's had to cancel or move or start whatever, but that's been on a Friday. I didn't realise she was doing Sunday. I don't want to stamp on her feet, so I'll have to try and find out. Yeah, we shall see. So something will come up, definitely. So I shall say to you guys, I've got Webard, first time visitor. Thank you, Webard, for joining us, and hope you'll come back again sometime.
Sure, no problem.
Excellent. And the lovely Keeler and Huge Arse, and of course Colon. Thank you very much, guys. So thank you very much, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes, yeah. In case you don't see it before then, Happy New Year. Definitely. So I say thank you for joining us. See you soon. Until next time, I want you all to stay sensible.